too much going on.
Huh?
Coming from North Carolina, standard. Love the throwback liveries, rocking the gargoyles, the
Hey, we back.
hat, and
All
here
right.
he is. Make some noise for the
All right.
All right.
It is Taylor,
We are officially all the way live. Maybe.
Okay. Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Well, we're live with each other. We're still watching drifting, so maybe people will hear us, maybe they don't.
It's a little behind on the stream, but that's cool. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's just encoding and uploading things to the internet. Is what it is, cousin.
Yep.
So what happened in top 32? There's like 2 people watching right now. So what happened in top 32? Because I missed it.
Oh God. I gotta look it back up. There was a lot. It was very interesting. I'm not great with keeping track of who moves forward since it's 32 of them.
I mean, we could be just.
JTP got his car fixed.
I saw that. Yeah. So
JTP got his car fixed.
Yeah. So essentially, like he blew an engine in practice yesterday, right? Like he
just flat out blew. Yeah. Said he had low oil pressure and it was leaking all over the track.
I saw the video. It totally like fire, smoke.
Okay. So here it is. They just had the
What's up?
They just had the top 16 up.
Oh, word. Is yours?
But yeah, so JTP, it might be.
Anyway,
JTP went against. I remember this battle because I've been meaning to ask you a question about this guy.
What's up?
JTP went against Jonathan Castro.
Okay.
I think Castro, as a chase driver, is just he's nuts. Like
he's very. Yeah,
sometimes he is like part of your car.
Yes.
As a lead driver, I think that's where he loses his rounds a lot.
I mean, I think he thrives in a chase environment. Yeah, I think he thrives in a chase environment. I think he's much more comfortable watching somebody and just like, especially in the way that like FD likes to do, like the way they rate chase runs.
Yeah,
it's very much a matter of like, they just want you close to the guy in front of you. Now it's funny because we saw in like St. Louis, right?
I'm in Arlington, Texas.
Okay.
Everybody was cutting that first inside clip. Well, the only inside clip, right? But everybody's cutting it. And like nobody cares. Like no, the judges didn't care that they were cutting that first point. But I was watching.
I'm seeing that here for the last outside clip on this Texas. A lot of people are doing the same thing. James Dean did it where he was chasing and he kind of got behind who he.
Not
James.
Yeah, got Dean Kearney.
Yeah. Okay.
The Viper.
Today, right? Yeah.
James Dean, right.
Yeah, they'll cut.
But he was chasing, and he kind of lost track of who he was chasing, and he just cut narrow. When they showed the overhead view from the drone, I don't even think he touched the outside zone with his tires.
No, they just want you to. They want you to gain that speed to like get back up next to the right. They always prioritize the door, but it's like I was watching top 16 yesterday, and they're like nailing dudes for not hitting outside clips on chase runs and like doing all this stuff to maintain proximity. And it's like in round 1 and 2, people were doing that and nobody cared. Like they talk about it, but they didn't weigh it in judging at all, right? Like it wasn't brought up really as like a serious conversation in judging. They never nailed, but they were like doing it yesterday, and it's like you can't run 4 rounds of this competition, not judge anybody really for cutting or narrowing out. And like they were calling Matt Field out for it yesterday, right? Like, oh, he's kind of cheating. He's he's giving up angle in game proximity. Meanwhile, they're like giving Taguchi a bunch of props for doing it in Seattle, for doing the same thing on the entry bank, right?
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
feel the same way about what I was watching
One
earlier
great
today for
opportunities to
this.
serve my community.
Certain
Again,
people,
for
when
myself
they
to hit
cut
a ball and
across,
I just continue that
it
role
was
aggressively, right?
the
It's
commentary
been a
was,
great experience.
look, he's catching back up. He's getting close proximity again. It wasn't, well, he cut across middle line and he's lacking angle.
Right.
And then for other people, that's exactly what it is. For other people, they called him out on it. Like, yeah,
Well,
he had to go
Yeah, he
super
totally did
shallow and
that.
cut a gang of angles.
I could be a
So
firefighter.
which one is it?
Yeah,
Who are
he
you
totally
rooting
just
for
like,
here?
United
yeah,
States Air Force has 130
it's still a matter
enlisted career
of
fields. All types of opportunities out
nothing
there,
ever
ranging
feels
from
consistent.
aircraft maintenance
Nothing
down to
ever
pest
feels,
management, all the way over
as
to
far as judging
services
goes,
and
like nothing feels
you name it, law
consistent.
enforcement,
Nothing feels
fire protection.
fair to some
There's
degree,
something out
even
there for
round to round to
everybody,
round, right?
regardless of what their interests
Right.
are.
And they always
And
do
I
this thing
find
where they're like, "Oh, we're changing the rules to make it more fair." It's like, well, it's not fair to the dude who got kicked for that thing you weren't judging on. You were judging on that round, but decided not to judge on, right?
absolutely.
Like
So
that
the best
guy's
way to do it is
season is now
definitely go
messed
to
up, or he's behind in points
airforce.com,
or
and
whatever,
then
right?
there's
So
going to
it's
be a
like,
connect
it's
tab
just
on
a
there.
little,
As simple as hitting connect,
it's a
entering
little
your zip
disingenuous
code
in my opinion,
information,
but I mean,
and there you go.
it
It's
kind of
going to
is
put you
what
in
it
touch
is,
with your
right?
local recruiter.
What are we gonna
Right.
do
Regardless of
about it?
what's
You just
So
going
gotta
on
find.
there, the
Dean
top
Carney went
person
against
is
Ryan Literal
putting
in
all
that
of that
run.
airmen into
They
the
just
Right.
showed it
opportunity
on the
so they'll
replay.
be
By no stretch of the imagination did Ryan Literal have a good run, his lead or his follow. They
Right.
just, neither one of them didn't seem really settled with the car on this track.
Right.
But he did pull a gap on Dean
sounds good. Possibly, yep, you know it.
to get to that outside zone. And Dean just, I mean,
You know it.
I think if you could clear the smoke away, you could like, I think some of these guys might be driving straight. Like, I'm just
Just to
gonna
really
book it
push through.
straight through the smoke. Yeah, it's like, okay, I
Yeah.
don't think they can see me. I'm gonna book it through the smoke and then reinitiate. Because Dean caught up very quick, and it didn't seem like when he came out of the smoke line that he was really sideways yet. Like, he was coming into more angle, and it was like, all right, so that was either a really long transition or you guys are cutting through the smoke line straight.
Yeah. Exactly. And it's just it's kind of like a, again, it's just
But
like,
he was rewarded for gaining proximity, was to your earlier point
right.
of the judging. He was rewarded on that for regaining proximity. So I see what you're saying, where it's like, as a chase driver, it's like, well, what do I do here? Like, do you guys want me to just stay close, or do you guys want me to fill the zones as well?
Yeah, exactly. It's I mean, they always state it like, "Oh, you know, you use the driver as a moving clip and wherever he goes, you go," right? But it's like then they do stuff when they do lead versus lead, chase versus chase, and it's like, "Oh, well, he didn't, like they did it yesterday, right?" They were like, "It was
Yeah, I
Turk.
mean
Or
that
was it
really
Turk?
dictates a lot there. Forsberg, who got
Against who?
second yesterday, jumped all the way
I
from
can't remember the
seventh to
battle. It
fourth.
may
So
have been
it's gonna get
it may
really
have been
tight. Here's
Castro
some
and somebody he
highlights
was
here
going
for
against, but
32.
it
We
was
saw
a thing
Chelsea
of like,
Duffy. You talked about him, and Denofa will be
are they
going
running
against
right now?
Naren.
I think they're going to do the
Ryan
top
Turner
six
against Tyler
introduction.
Nelson,
Oh,
the
okay.
other Shelby Mustang.
I can't lie.
Naren has been
I
getting
like
after it
Osbo's
this
car.
weekend.
I'm not even mad at the new
Like I said,
Supra. I like the way it
potentiality of
looks. I wish it was a
absolutely
little bit
steamrolling
bigger.
everybody.
I
Chris
wish it wasn't
Forsberg
the size of an
against Kyle
FRS.
Mohan.
My
It was
biggest
easy
issue
Uh,
with
for
the new
Kyle Mohan
Supra is that
shutting
I
down.
only like it when it's wide bodied, and I have a problem with wide bodies. I mean, in this
as,
situation, it's
as do
different.
I. That's what I'm saying. I wish it was just bigger, like
Yeah,
from jump. I wish it was bigger, so you wouldn't feel like you had to walk. Like if it was the size of like my car,
yeah,
or maybe a little bit smaller, like a New Edge Mustang, or like the early New Edge, like a '98. Like if it was that size instead of the size it is, like I don't.
they're very tiny. Dude, Ryan Turk is
Yeah,
killing it right now. 32-point lead against Gittin after 2 straight wins.
yeah.
That's wild.
I mean, how many? What I think it's almost 100 points between him and Osbo though.
It's 90 some points. Yeah, 80 some points.
Right, and
Yeah.
I like what you
So
said
he's,
about
I mean,
what is the progression here, because we did see that in
we're
Seattle.
we're
One,
6 rounds
not only did the
in. Like
conditions
Ryan
better
Turk's
through
in
the
really
weekend,
good
but the drivers got
position
more
to
familiar
win
with
this
the
whole
track. We
thing this year,
definitely saw
dude.
that in
Like
Seattle
it's
as well, or excuse me, in St. Louis
it's
as well.
Excuse me.
definitely
So, man, a guy who was a
it's funny
spoiler
too because it's like
yesterday,
you
a
can look
dark
at it
horse,
and
took it
it's
all
like
the way to the
Vaughn
top.
won
Jeff
2
Jones
events
is with
back
the
to
red
back.
nickel now.
That's not
Jared
enough,
Dando was
right?
talking
It's Ryan
about
Turk's been
progression,
super
and we
consistent
saw you
podiuming,
get
and he's
into
been
the
super
top
consistent
4
on runs
yesterday.
too.
Today
So
we
it's just a
thought that
matter
you
Yeah.
of like
had a belt issue, but it
you just have to be
But
that
I think
guy.
those two wins is what catapulted Vaughn into a close enough second place that I mean we have what 3 rounds left. We have this one and then 2 at Irwindale.
Yeah, yo, 2 events at Irwindale is gonna be nuts.
I might have to try to go to. I might have to go to one. I need to go to one.
I would love to go to one, dude.
Maybe I'll go to the one on Saturday since we do this on Sunday.
Yeah, that would probably be a good one. I would love to just go there and just do it and just like
I
do
was
it
thinking
that
about
way.
that, just going on Sunday and just being the asshole walking around with the
With
headphones on,
yeah, dude, for real. I'll just
commentating
from the stands.
commentating
I
from the
got my
stands.
tripod, dude. We could like that. It also involves me being able to get to LA. So, um,
I, I mean, the roads are open.
that's fair. Yeah, that's
You,
a good point.
you
I
got
have
you
a
got your
child and a
all-wheel
wife to live
drive
with.
STI.
Yeah, dude. Jeff Jones getting into top 4 yesterday.
But
I
looking
know.
Yeah,
forward to
I was like, yeah,
yeah.
go get him, Tiger. Once he got into top 4, I was like, he ain't getting anywhere past this. But like, I'm glad he got here.
Right.
Dude, Adam LZ,
Adam
absolute,
LZ
but Adam
in the
LZ
grade 8.
absolutely shitting the bed on that one more time,
I
dude, on
feel
his
like
lead
this
run. Just
is very
completely, or
bipolar.
was it his chase run?
Yesterday
I
was
don't know. He shit the
real
bed
high.
somewhere.
Today,
It was his
obviously
chase run.
very low.
He was with Forsberg though, right? Yeah, I mean,
Forsberg is hard to chase. He's fast, dude. He's fucking real fast. And he's faster when he needs to be faster. Like when he just like wants to put you in the ground. You know what I mean? He'll just hammer it. I mean, he's the dude that did like the.
I hate talking about Forsberg. It's like
Yeah, dude. He's the
it's like
fucking
talking about
Obi-Wan.
Tom Brady.
It is like talking, dude.
It's like,
Yes.
look, dude, I know you're good. You're so good that you're boring. Okay, I get it. You're gonna do all the right stuff.
That's the thing, dude. He's boring,
Ah,
right?
yeah.
Him and
Well, because he's almost perfect. He makes it look effortless. Like you almost look at his car and you swear he's underpowered because it seems like he's going slow, but he's really boogieing half the time. You can't
yeah.
really pull a sizable gap on him. He chases you, so but it's just something about it that just looks so it's just too easy. Maybe that's what it is. He's just too good, and it just looks like he has a smooth style.
He has a very smooth style. He's the dude
He's
who.
not as aggressive as Bond.
Well, he also like is always driving for 100 feet ahead, right? So like he's
Yeah.
always that far ahead when it comes to what his hands are doing, where he wants to be, where he's placing the car. He's not like you look at guys like Denofa, and
What's
Denofa's
Colonel
like
Thomas talking about?
Denofa's a 20-foot ahead driver. You know what I mean? He's like, this is right here. I'm worried about that. Then after that, I'm worried about that thing after that. It's like he just kind of goes.
I'll break when I need to.
I'll break when I need to the point where he Chelsea'd it is now a thing in Formula D. Frederick Osbo goes, you know, Chelsea'd it when he ran into the side of him. It's like it's well known. You drive too aggressive, and you don't like. You can be aggressive, but like don't be a dumbass and just whiskey throttle and stuff. You know what I mean?
I think he's getting better though. I think he's getting a lot better. And how old is he?
He's
20.
he's in his 30s, dude. No,
Early
you might be
30s,
wrong.
though, right?
Maybe yeah, he's late 20s, early 30s. All right, so this
Okay,
is
so
JTP versus
if he
Osbo.
sticks around this sport longer, I think he's going to mature. He could be the next Vaughn, like an aggressive style, but he's learned how to dial it back to where it's like I'm aggressive enough to where you're going to be uncomfortable with me, but
Right.
I'm fine. I'm not going to crash.
Did JTP go straight coming out of OZ3
Taylor
right there?
Hall. I'm not sure what you're watching. I've got opening ceremony over here.
For top 16?
See.
You need to refresh your stream, my dude, because I just watched Osbo and JTP do their first run.
You know what? I may have paused it earlier when I.
But so is Justin. Justin following him into outside zone 3. Pretty good job there. Great battle
Killing the
starting
game
off
here,
between
Jamal.
these two guys.
Killing the game.
Take a look through the center section once again as Justin tucks up on
So
the
you just
inside,
watched two?
trying to gain
I just
proximity,
watched
but
Frederick
Osbo
Osbo
running a
and
monster
JTP's
line
first
here.
run.
And still Osbo and JTP
Was
close
Osbo
together
in
through
front,
that finish line. That's
who
the way
killed
you
it,
wanna start off the
it
top
seems
16.
like. So there's
Notice that Osbo
OZ2.
goes deep in outside zone 2, but so does
Yeah,
Justin.
dude, Pollock
Slight
went
little
straight
gap here, then
through
they
that
can
last
press again
outside,
into
or the
outside zone
second to
3,
last outside
and then
zone
finally
to
through
catch up to
4.
Osbo.
Looking good by
Osbo's
both
so
drivers.
fast.
Awesome. Amazing drifting there.
Yeah, some really good driving there by Osbo.
Are you up to date now?
Pollock,
Are you
was
concurrent with
everywhere
what's
that Osbo
happening in
went.
front of
This
us?
is going to be the deciding factor. Who's really going to step up? And again, don't leave it in the judges'
Jamal.
hands. You really want to earn it.
Gloria.
Very fierce competitors, well-prepared cars. And
I don't have
as we
time
saw
for these
yesterday,
errors,
JTP,
okay?
I don't want to admit that I was watching Top 32 again. Okay.
Osbo needs to step up in order to have a fight for this
All right,
championship.
but you're
right
watching now. What's
I don't
happening?
think- yeah. Now it's Osbo and Pollock at the line, right?
No, they just left, but yeah, you're a little bit behind
Third
me.
outside zone. Oh, look at this snap here from JTP. Always amazing when JTP holds on to that. You saw him just really snap.
Yeah,
Sometimes
I've
it
got
ends up
Pollock
behind him.
leading.
Not the case there. You
Yeah,
saw he had to
okay.
take a little bit of angle out of
So
it,
you're a
but
little
Nice.
bit behind
was
me, but at
nasty.
least it's
He
not
did
that
it
big.
again. He done did it again.
You'll see. You'll see what
the standard
Oh.
what goes down.
Oh.
You watching going to OC3 right now? OZ3?
Yeah,
That
yeah,
little bit too much backy action.
yeah.
See, this is the thing that I dislike about LP is that I wish that was encouraged because it looks sick. Like he's just whipping it. You know what I mean?
I think he could have got it if he. Let me see.
He went shallow though. He didn't hit that outside zone. The last outside.
Oh.
So this is an interesting set of circumstances here that the judges have to digest.
Yeah, that's. I'm eager to get Lontaine's feedback here on
Mm.
this snap.
See, Osbo reduces the angle there for a second.
Good job
So a
filling
couple
that outside
mistakes
zone.
here. And then
He doesn't have
JTP
great proximity.
from that drone.
No, he doesn't. But I think they're gonna. Yeah, they're gonna hit him for that.
That
Let me
overcorrection.
see what happened.
Oh, and that, and he doesn't hit that.
Well, he
last
just
time.
didn't. Well, he just doesn't have enough speed.
So I know that that's gonna
There.
impact overall.
I think he just
Oh,
chucked
come
it a little
on.
too
What's
hard.
up?
JTP's hands.
I know, but
Yeah, yeah.
little too hard. Yeah.
Judges
He just
are
hit it a
coming in
little too
here.
hard. He grabbed like a half second too
Remember,
late, right?
you know,
Grabbed that wheel
Justin
like a half
Pollock
second too late.
Coming into this round was a real contender. Osbo currently sitting. in
So
third
what are you
left for
what are you
Osbo.
sipping?
Justin, okay, and there we go. Osbo gets the
Damn,
win.
Osbo unanimous
gets the win
victory on that one.
unanimously.
Yeah.
Montaigne,
Yeah, I
going
see that.
over to
I
you.
have a.
Osbo gets the win,
It's a
unanimous.
Sierra Nevada hazy. I can't remember what it's called. Fantastic haze. It's 9%. We going hard.
There we go.
Okay.
We're going hard at noon.
You got your.
They're in the beer
Right.
fridge in the garage. Yeah, they're in the beer fridge.
These are one more timers right here, folks.
Yep. Jesus Christ.
I'm
I can't-
debating right now. Whether I'm going this guy or this guy.
Unfortunately,
Wait, I can't see. So between a Bud Light and a what else?
No, this guy
Oh Lord, dude.
or this
What is
guy.
that? Cazadores?
Yeah.
I feel like if you're gonna scumbag at noon, you might as well scumbag with tequila.
Let's
I
go.
feel like it's
Big
unfair.
big scumbagging.
I'm not doing that.
GTP's big over rotation threw him offline, and you can see that Osbo filled outside zone 4.
Yeah, the whole JTP threw him offline.
That's what really Osbo in my eyes.
And Ryan, if
I feel like they're
JTP
just
were
like.
to pull that off, it would be
Oh,
holding
Denofa's
that
31.
angle
I feel like that's a
consistently,
little
not
bit of a
unwinding it,
crutch,
but
dude.
carrying the
Like,
momentum through and then getting into
oh, he's
And JTP was a little. He was a little offline in this chase too.
No, he was for sure. I totally agree that he was off the chase, but I also feel like anytime. I don't know. I feel like in drifting, like this goes back to the conversation we had at the last episode. It's like you're doing something ridiculous, right? Like it's two cars following each other at high, like fast as fuck,
that was unanimous.
sideways,
Speaking on
like
behalf of the judges, Moving on to
It
our
should
next
be
battle,
on the chase
Jonathan
driver to
Nairn
match. It should be on the
versus
chase
Chelsea
driver to
DeNova,
adapt.
the winner to go against Frederick Osbo. We saw
I'm still
he was
not
able to
super
win
sold on the idea of there is a
KTP.
perfect.
Nairn will lead DeNova, giving chase. Here comes
Exactly.
Nairn.
It makes it very hard to chase
You have to be perfect.
because if there's a perfect chase run, then there has to be a perfect lead run.
Well, that's the thing is that they're
So
going
I have
against.
to assume that you're going to run the like you're going to hit every clip that you're supposed to go, so that I can, in essence, run another lead run just behind you.
Yeah.
That was not what I expected. I
Dude, Nairn kind of came out hot on that one.
I know. I like that car.
I like that car too. I don't like his new Shelby as much.
Accentuated in particular in outside zone 3. DeNova gets
That's just like a beat up.
I don't think I have either. Yeah, I don't think I have.
Well, he hasn't.
I don't
Well, he
think I'm a
hasn't. He's
fan
done
of it.
better in this 14 than he has in that new Mustang. Yo, he fucking killed this lead run.
Is approaching outside zone 3.
Yeah.
He's gonna compress,
Chelsea looks a little.
Dude,
Let me see how Chelsea chased.
that was a great lead run. That was a mid 90 point run.
Does catch up towards the end, but like you said,
Ooh, Chelsea.
Literally, things are closer than they appear in the rearview mirror. And
dude,
on this section here, he
Chelsea went off. Yeah.
Yep.
Outside zone 3, and it
Oh, okay. Okay, Nairn.
That was nasty. That was a nasty lead run, dude. That shit look at how wide his front suspension is. Jesus Christ. 4 degrees negative camber.
And back up to
those are like 40 millimeter over fenders, and he's like an inch past that. That's crazy.
Chelsea doesn't hit the last outer clip either. He doesn't actually get the tires into that zone. I don't think he was prepared for Nairn's lead.
I don't think I think he's I think he feels a little behind the ball going into this lead run for sure. Okay, with the flick.
No, I'm saying I don't think he was prepared. Like, I think he thought, oh, this is his backup car. Like, he might be a little slower or whatever. Oh, come on, dude. Mine's behind. I haven't seen it yet. They just got started.
In a second. You're not that far behind.
He's getting gapped.
It gets worse.
Ooh, okay.
He had it, dude. He absolutely had it. And it just like.
Look at Chelsea riding that outside.
Yeah.
But don't sacrifice anything.
Yeah, he kind of. Oh, he was breaking it. Ooh, wait a minute. Oh, that's right. OZ3 is a decel zone. So, oh, God,
yeah.
They do this so stupid, bro. Like, they do this so dumb.
So did you hear about how they said they do it? How they determine what the decel zones are and everything?
I didn't hear that.
So they talked about it earlier in the top 32, I want to say, or this may have been when I was watching yesterday's event last night. It's all kind of mixing together, yeah. 2 a.m. watching Formula D.
Dude, Jesus Christ.
Commitment. But they said that they have, they take data from the cars and they talk to the drivers about it. Where is it? And so they ask the drivers, where is it that you guys feel like you're going to need to slow down? And then based off the data, they were like, yeah, so we just narrow it down so it's not such a wide zone. But it's like, okay, so between here and here is where most people, like, still I think that's a little, because you're doing data off, what, like 1 or 2, maybe 3 practice runs?
I mean, I guess what the thought is that, like, at this level of like performance, like everybody's going to be within like 2/10 of each other as far as what they're doing, right? So it's like, you know, you're talking 80-point runs, 90-point runs, whatever. Like, if you're in Pro 1, you're operating within a relatively small margin from one another, which I disagree with because there's, as we can tell, there's a huge margin between, especially in like top 32. I mean, that's more scientific and with more thought than I would have given them credit for not knowing what they were doing. What I'm saying is that I think it's like,
but the chase definitely wasn't that good on my end. But
it's like this track specific, and I know this is reverse of how they ran it last year, right? Like they were running this the other way last year. But to have an outside clipping point in the decel area, where you then immediately have to heavy on throttle to whip a whole bank. Like that's a lot of room for. It's the same thing going into like in St. Louis, going into outside zone 4 as well, right? It's the same thing. You have a heavy braking zone right before a real heavy bank. Well, it's not. I mean, it wasn't as heavy. It was obviously a lot smaller. But you're asking for the same kind of problems. You're asking for those collisions and all those issues in that kind of setup. And I don't think that there's necessarily anything wrong with using data for braking zones and all that kinds of stuff, but I think it really a lot more boils down to like thought going into the track setup. Right? Like, oh, we're going to end up in a situation where we have an outside clip in a braking zone going into a fast bank, a fast corner. Like, we're going to end up with a lot of crashes, and we're not going to have a lot of good clean runs because this is what we're doing.
I think they're trying to push the line of getting the most exciting runs that they possibly can.
Yeah.
But I think that they're trying to like force their hand on it a little bit too much. Instead of letting it happen organically between the two drivers, they're trying to set it up for it to happen. It's like,
it's not what you want to see.
Yeah, that makes sense.
What are you doing? What's wrong with his car? You watching Taguchi's buy run right now?
Yeah. How did he get a buy run? Who went out?
Do you want to run the buy runs? They said, yep. So, yeah, here we are.
I forgot who he was matched up against.
For 16, it's required.
Yes. All right. We move on to our next battle. 3 drivers already in.
So Taguchi's going to top 4? That's crazy. Great 8, sorry.
With that buy run. Right, with that buy run.
Dude, the 500 horsepower disadvantage
Getting that
continues.
final podium spot against Jeff Jones, but Field and Gittin as
Will Matt Field continue to be his own worst enemy? Find out in the next episode of
Well, apparently, next time. Formula Drift Z.
So funny, dude.
Well, apparently he has more than 700 horsepower. They were saying that earlier today in Top 32 as well. That Matt Field like told them to update his like stat sheet.
And they just have
his digital stat sheet, and they just have him. But they were like, he has way more than 700 horsepower.
So I mean,
like,
yeah.
He just wanted us to let you guys know that that's not like that. He has more power than that.
It's so shocking that Formula Drift's production value is behind something like that. This is like, it's always such a shit show. Like, they were showing the wrong drivers for runs. I remember round 1, like none of the audio for the in the pit and stuff worked. Got this man chasing a plastic bottle at her.
Different than what people are used to in these doubleheaders. We're going to be having Pro on Friday, Pro 2 on Saturday, and Pro back again.
God, it looks hot out there.
It's not.
You can just see the heat. Like,
my aunt lives out there. It's like
not
40,
that hot up there.
It's 40 degrees, I guess, or something like that. That's what she was saying.
Oh, that makes sense because everybody is rocking long sleeve though.
Yeah, I think that's just the heat off the cars on the track from them running on it.
That could be.
This thing is constantly telling me the stream's about to crash, and I'm watching the stream at the same time. So I gotta know what the problem is.
I'm not getting that problem, thank goodness.
No, I'm talking about like us actually streaming live on YouTube.
Oh.
And here we go. Bonkin Jr. leading. Matt Field giving chase.
Oh my god.
Jr. into that first outside zone.
Vaughn's like barely holding it together on watches. That car has so much power.
Oh, he just manjis off, like right past the cones and just manjis all the way down.
Yeah. Oh.
Was he past the finish line? I don't think so.
Alrighty.
Let me know when you finish that run.
Vaughn's looking good.
Yeah, he is.
Vaughn's looking really good, and looks like Matt Field is gone. Yep. Oh!
Yeah.
Dirt track.
Starts off pretty strong here, but Vaughn grips up.
3-wheeling it. Bonkin Jr. 3-wheeling it. Yeah, Vaughn looks good, dude. Right on the line, hammering it.
Trying to get back on throttle to stay on Vaughn's door, but slowly he goes into the smoke line. And we heard from many drivers that once that happens, it's basically a leap of faith. Notice the white line there and the cone. That's the finish line. He does not make it past that finish line.
That's something else I thought about too. Is like back in the quote unquote early days of Formula Drift, like nobody's cars smoked like this. Like Daigo Sato was the first guy who really had a car that was just like a straight up cloud machine.
Yeah.
And now they're all doing that. And you know they're making tires to make more smoke and shit like that, just so it looks more impressive. And it's like
a mimicking effect.
Yeah, before, if you just filled up your wheel well with smoke, you were doing it.
Yeah.
You were chilling. Most people were getting that smoke, like the bottom of the tire, and you get like that contact patch smoke.
Yeah.
That whole thingy.
But like
and yeah,
driving
if you
behind
could fill up your whole wheel well, you were like, oh wow. But then yeah, you started seeing people. Well, damn, I can't even see his trunk. I can't see the rear quarter window.
Yeah.
Like it just starts to cover up. Like,
I can't see the driver anymore.
Yeah, I can't see the driver.
Which means
I just see headlights.
Yeah, it's so stupid. It's like, I mean, it looks sick. It looks sick, but it's like, it's, you know, if you've got, I don't know, if it's a thing where like you literally can't drive when you're chasing. That was a little shallow.
I'm sure it makes it very, very difficult. Right, so now Matt Field's leading.
He fucks it up real easy. He fucks it up quick.
Wow, that was shallow.
Yeah, super shallow, dude.
He's Matt Field's going to Matt Field, getting in his own way.
As per usual, dude.
I wonder what's going on with him this season.
That I don't know. Oh, if I do that, it's gonna kick me out of here.
And it looks like he's still got angle in the car.
Yeah, it's not. I don't know what his deal is, dude. Honestly, like I feel like he's got.
And as we take a look at it from some of the other
he's got Part Shop Max running his suspension program. He's got good components. He's got a good engine. He's got a good chassis. He's a good driver.
And it's just a compression there. So yeah, he makes the
he's a really good driver. But
it boils down to mental. He's mentally not in the event for some reason.
Yeah, I don't really know what the deal is there.
Because it almost seems like he's driving with like a chip on his shoulder. Like he read something online or some shit.
Yeah, dude, he's like over.
And he's driving angry almost. Like he's trying to prove. He's driving like somebody told him he was a whack driver. It's like, oh, why is Matt Field in Formula E? Like that dude is trash. Like that's how he's driving.
Because that's just where I moved it.
Bummer.
Okay.
But Vonkin Jr. gets the win and advances.
Getting in trouble.
Okay. Still have a family to run here, so you know.
Right.
This is a family show, folks.
So you can get into trouble in the middle of the show.
No, she's going to run her. So.
Nah, I'm messing with you. Wow. Surprisingly, not one more time yet. I have not had to crack one of these beers.
I am not upset about that.
I bought a 32 pack. I was expecting a lot more.
Right? Hey, did you lose your left audio channel to the stream? I mean your right audio channel?
What, like am I
from YouTube, from the YouTube stream of this thing?
Oh, I don't know. Everything sounds fine.
Fine.
Adam LZ and Juku Racing
Adam
Achilles
LZ
tires.
Michael
Got the 2J under the hood. A great look at S15 Sylvia. Into that first outside zone. Look at that. LZ pulling away from Michael Essa. Good maneuver around that front flip. Now through the power alley into that third outside zone. Look at
This is a good run for LZ.
Hits the side of that S15. Oh, and Michael Essa. Looks like he gets blinded by the smoke, and LZ will have a major advantage.
Whoa.
So
okay.
A similar strategy can be
Whoa.
by Adam LZ. The tables
are
turned in his favor here. Let's take a look at the run. Let's see what
happens. Oh!
I did not see that coming.
Adam LZ. No, I did not see that coming. Okay. Question.
What's up?
So when you're watching Formula D, so say you're at an event, you're at your house, you're at an event, something, and you're watching. When you watch the runs, how are you judging the run? Like, what are you looking for?
So like,
because I know how I do it, so I'm interested to see how other people like what they're looking at
so like,
or how they
unfortunately, I'm
go
now
about it.
conditioned to the fact to where like, because like I have the two judgments. I have, and a lot of the time, like, as much as I hate to admit this, who the judges pick to win is a lot of the time the right guy. But there are moments where I'm like, oh, I know who probably lost this, but like, I would have picked
I know
their
who they're
run.
gonna say is win.
Yeah, but it's like I would have picked that run over the guy who actually won. Like I think that run was more entertaining. I think it was cooler to watch. Right, it had more angle or whatever. Like I hate that angle isn't a judgment criteria anymore. Like unless it's a matter of like completely straightening out and not being in drift. Right, there's no like you get critiqued for not drifting enough, but you don't get props for like really chucking it in there.
Super drifting.
Yeah, and that's kind of where like the stigma of FD being like sideways drag racing kind of comes into play, right? And there is some truth to that, you know, like there is some truth to that, especially when you look at it's like you gotta the way they do
how much horsepower everybody's running and all that kind of stuff. It really is it's becoming a sideways race to the finish line without without the chase driver being able to actually cross first. But
yeah, it's just a matter of like, but it's like even the way they do the launches, right? Like the chase driver can jump the light, right? But once the lead driver is rolling, the run has started. But when the light hits red, if the lead driver hasn't left, the chase driver can jump, which is a good strategy if you're in an underpowered car, right? Like I have to give you your space.
I don't like the chicane. I don't like the chicane cones. If you're gonna let me jump, then why does the lead driver have to like drive through this little mini obstacle course real quick? Like just let me jump. If the chase driver can jump, then you just go ahead and go. And I'm just gonna go when the light turns off, like I'm supposed to, and we're just rolling.
Yeah, I know what
I think. You see the chase drivers, like you see chase drivers jump. Like nobody's really that underpowered in Formula D, like in the Pro ones. Nobody's really that like lacking in power. So you'll see people jump, and then they just jump to get the rolling start because they jump, and then they just let the car roll. And then once the guy gets through the chicane, then they get back on the gas. Yeah. So it's like, it's almost like I just got tired of sitting here with my foot on the clutch.
Yeah. Holy, are you watching this LZ run right now? This LZ ESSA run right now?
Yes.
Did you see the full run yet?
Yes.
Yeah. Adam LZ just took out Michael ESSA in the top 16.
I know. I can't.
What? Adam LZ is going to top 8 completely through his own talent.
Again, right. Could you?
Last time wasn't his own talent. Well, this time technically was. I mean, ESSA went off.
He got a bye run this morning, but I mean, hey.
That's the luck of the draw.
You beat ESSA how you beat ESSA, okay?
Yeah.
And if you can drive well enough to make ESSA go off the track while he's chasing you, then hey, I say that's under your own power.
Yeah, I'm not even mad at bye runs. Like the way they do this year, I'm not super mad about the bye run situation. Because it was always the same dudes getting
Kearney and
Ryan Turk, yeah. It was always the same dudes getting bye runs, and that's what used to really bother me about it. You know, it's like these guys don't have to do a whole step, and they got to practice the same amount, so they already.
It seems like for. I hate to keep saying his name, but that seems like Forsberg used to get a lot of bye runs.
Forsberg gets the win. Yeah.
Forsberg's just getting extra practice, really.
Yeah, he is getting it. Yeah, for sure.
Okay. So when I was asking about how you watch these, so when I'm watching them, especially if I'm watching it on TV where it's a little bit easier, when it's actually happening, the run, I watch the lead driver. I don't even pay attention to the chase driver. And then I just want to see what he's doing, if he's like putting down a nice lead run. And then in the replay, I'll zero in on the chase driver.
You should watch the chase driver on this Kearney Turk battle, though.
Turk's running a really good line.
Kearney's in his ass. Kearney.
But he is. But he kind of shallowed up to get there.
Only going into OZ1, but like, nah, dude. Going into that big sweeper, he's in there, dude. Look, because you got to remember, he's got the horsepower advantage in this one.
He's got the horsepower advantage over everybody.
Jesus Christ, dude. That was a good chase run.
Watch this. See, there's a little separation here.
Oh, yeah.
Boom. He attacks right here on the inside. He adjusted his angle a little bit to do that, so he's
Turk Manji.
Outer
That's all that
zone,
was.
he kind of shallowed up.
No, it looks that way because Turk flicked
just
it.
very slight.
I disagree.
They're going to show it from the top. Let me see.
I think when you see it from the top, Turk flicked it, which is why it looks like that coming out of that corner. But through the corner, he was like parallel with
it. Looks like it has so much side grip. You can see that thing just crab walking to the side of a very fast Toyota Corolla.
Yeah, okay. From the top, you can see Dean is pretty much matching the angle. It looked weird from the other.
Yeah,
angles.
well, like I said, Turk flicks on the
from
outside.
the other angles, it looks like he just
fell behind.
Yeah, you don't really see Turk through the smoke, so you can't really tell that they're pretty much the same angle.
Yeah. I mean, that's one reason I'm glad they have multiple angles. Oh, he's going for a big, don't fuck this up, Carney.
Could this be the first one more time?
Nah. Nah. What?
Could we see a wind of change here?
Yo.
Not the prettiest.
Well, I always feel like if it's gonna
if
we're gonna see something big, we're gonna see it between 1 and 3. So let's see.
That last outer zone was sloppy.
Turk just disappeared for a second there. He just.
I think this might be a. I think this might be.
I don't think this is an OMT. I think
to me this is a one more time.
To me, this is a Carney. Carney's chase run was way cleaner than Turk's, and his lead run was just as clean.
Let me see his. I haven't watched the chase run from Turk, and I'm watching it right now.
Did he think he was going to pick up a little bit earlier? Was Dean on the right line going into outside zone 4? Here it is from the drone. Hits that second hash mark right at the edge of outside zone 2. Turk surging forward. Dean waiting to pick it up. There he goes. A little bit past the area of outside.
So yeah, I would lean towards Dean on this one.
Yeah, I think he just had the more
heavily. Honestly, I would heavily lean towards Dean. The chase lead runs from both drivers is pretty good. It's pretty much the same. Dean doesn't get out to the outer zone, the last outer zone though.
On his lead run.
So they might try to penalize him for that, and it'll be a one more time.
That is a possibility, but I think it would be kind of a. The stream did not shut down for the person who's watching. Just checking something real quick.
Huh?
Nothing.
He's deeper in outside zone 4. Kearney had some beautiful moments of really tight proximity, especially on that last section there. And it looks like Dean also caused a little bit of an adjustment from Turk in outside zone 3. So will that favor Dean or will it favor Turk?
Oh, Turk didn't get out to the outside zone 4 either.
This is one where
no, he didn't.
I'm gonna have to say Dean. I'm gonna have to say Dean then. They had literally the same lead run, and Dean had a better chase.
I agree. I completely agree. I think that. I think Turk kind of shit the bed on this one, dude. I think he did.
So do you think they're gonna try to? You think they're gonna try to give it to him?
Is Carney gonna get
Seems like
Turk?
it's taking
Carney
a
might
long
get Turk,
time.
right?
Seems like it's taking a long time to make a decision on this.
Am I going to grab a beer? Oh, fuck me. I'll be back. Son of a
Uno más.
Uno más. All right, guys. Due to Jamal and I's history in Formula D, every time there is a one more time, we have to chug a Bud Light. So I have to go grab a beer. I'll be back.
Hurry up, son.
I can't say that he was fully straight.
Wow.
The view that we have, he was at extremely low angle, and that did allow
unanimous one more time too. I would have I would have thought that at least one person would have said Dean, because I was leaning towards Dean. Like we said, he had the better of the two chase runs. Both lead runs were kind of the same, so I don't know. Are they trying to give Turk the championship? Trying to give him another chance to stay in it? They might.
We're back.
All right, you ready for this?
Well, let's watch this run first. The run starting, and then we'll do it after that.
Taylor Hall.
Taylor Hall. Fucking Hall, dude. I'm such a huge fan of this dude.
Seems like the kind of guy like I would like to go to a Texas drift event, like take my car out to Texas and go to drifting.
Yo, Dye's
and
shallow
pit
on that
somewhere
clip.
next to him.
He just seems like a
Eat some
good
of his
person.
barbecue because I'm sure he's barbecuing at a drift event.
Oh, for sure. Dog.
Okay, Taylor, nice entry, nice transition.
He's doing the damn thing, bro.
He is.
The drifting world has been keeping an eye on
And a Cadillac.
looking absolutely phenomenal and putting down an insane
it's impressive what he's doing right now.
Nice little flick. He's immediately back on throttle.
Are you ready?
Yes. What? Hold up. God damn. I need to have a better way to do this than what I'm doing now. Fuck. All right. There we go. One more time. Hit my life.
One more time.
One more time.
Keeping a pretty good line through outside turn number 4.
Liking it. Here we go, though. You got that FD champ, Yoshihara, Taylor Hall.
It's bad.
I mean, when that Cadillac came out,
Colin Taylor says Texas barbecue 10 out of 10. That's right, boy. Thank you to the homies for supporting. We appreciate you, both of you, right now. That's all we need.
Yeah. That's really all it's for.
Takes all my bad feelings and turns it into worse feelings. Here we go.
This is literally what we used to do when we used to hang out and watch Formula D back in the day. Now we just have headphones.
We're far apart. That's all.
People, yeah, we're letting you people in the room with us.
Hull, baby. Taylor Hull, baby. That's my fucking boy. Let the underdogs in. Let's the underdogs into Formula D at the top rank.
Dye is putting it down.
Look at Hull's chase though. In there, baby.
This time around, and this is an incredible battle. Big flick there by Dye, immediately back on throttle. Hull through the
I cheated.
I need to see it from the top. I need to see it from the top. I need to see the replay so I can watch Taylor's chase. But Dye's lead was
Dye's lead is clean, but Dye's so clinical, dude. You can just know what he's gonna do. Oh no, Hull fucked up. My bad, I didn't see that.
As I'm saying, he didn't get to that outer zone.
This part looks good.
He didn't get to that outer zone.
He just got to that outer zone. Nah, Dye took that. That's a Dye.
So he got the inside clip. He didn't get to the outer zone there. Barely got that one. Not in that one. Yeah, he ran more of a he ran more of a proximity run.
This one is leaving me in
yeah, no, that's Dye for sure. So yo, Jess got me this thing for beers, right? And you can put these boys in it. And this is an ice pack. Or you can put tall boys in it, and it's insulated in stainless steel, so it keeps the brew boys cold.
Nice.
I'm a huge fan.
How's
We're an hour in, and
what's
I'm on
the outside made out of?
It's all stainless steel. It's just wrapped. It's just like got some shit on it.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if it had like a cozier.
Yeah,
no, I wasn't sure if it was like a cozier grip though, like if it was like rubber or something.
Nah, it's like a rubberized. I just got a black leopard print because your boy's ridiculous, and you already knew that. So
black out everything.
Except these kicks, baby. She got on this shit right here, dog.
Dude, you don't. I can't see him
because I'm so out of shape that I can't put my leg up that high. Yeah. Thanks for pointing that out.
So you don't want to do the shoe game with me right now.
Adam LZ, I'm excited for Adam LZ.
So when you know you're going up against
yeah.
What's the strategy?
It seems like like we're watching somebody kind of come into their own in the middle of the season.
He's also slowly turning into one of the villains from The Fifth Element. I don't know if you're watching the stream right now, but you'll see what I'm saying with those sunglasses and that mustache.
So looking at Seattle,
he looks like he should be selling. He looks like he should be selling. Be an arms dealer, an intergalactic arms dealer at this point. / part-time racing driver.
Wearing a suit with no collar, just buttons.
Yeah, that's right. The Mandarin collar. Oh god, it's so good. No, I like him. I like that he's coming into his own. I like that Is his car expensive? Yes, his car is expensive, but as somebody who's like an amateur content creator, to watch somebody who started out the same way and made a bunch of cool fucking content about cars, and he was able to parlay that into a business where he can now drive and own.
Yeah, you fucking root for this guy.
Yeah, like I'm
I
like,
fucking root for this dude. It's
you're
like,
one
yeah,
of
this is
us,
what I
dude.
want to do.
Yeah, you're one of us.
Yeah,
You're just a regular dude. So I support the shit.
You made it.
Yeah, and he's got a
You
sick
made
ass
it.
car, dude. That car is so fucking tight. Wide body.
I gotta be honest. I don't like the delivery.
I love it.
You know me though. I'm not JDM. Like
No,
I hate
you're not,
doing,
but
like,
I
I
just-
hate American people doing JDM shit.
But that's a full-on JDM car. Like that's a it's an S15
Yeah, but still,
with a
like,
2J.
do your paint job more American. I don't know. Like,
Oh, false start. False start.
I would do like lowrider style candy paint on that bitch.
Like Ryan Literal.
Yes.
Ryan Literal
Not
has
JDM.
Ryan Literal's 14. The livery on that car is a super sick combo of like American street car culture and JDM drift car culture. He's got the flames, but it's hella flake, hella pearl. It's all paint. You know what I mean? It's like he didn't wrap it. That car is sick. I was into that
car
shit.
is super sick.
Who was it? Who was the one who had the Rasta S14? Was that Matt?
Ross Petty.
That was Ross Petty. The hey
Ross
guys, I smoke weed.
Petty. Yes.
So
yes,
good.
Ross Petty. So not a lot of people know about that car because that was way back in the day. I'm guessing something crazy happened. But Ross Petty had a Rasta-colored S15. He's a Falcon driver.
That's
and
right.
when he debuted the car to Falcon, because they let him paint it and everything himself, when he actually debuted the car to them, wow, Chris, oh, okay. I like how he kept driving like that wasn't his fault.
He's gonna. So this is where the sport is getting shitty. And Colin says, always support the content creators. Hell yeah, dude. We support that. We support you. Thank you. When watch this. Nah, they're gonna put that on Odie, 100%.
God, that's so sad. So yeah, Ross Petty's Rasta colored car. When he first debuted to Falcon, they should not put that on Odie. When he first debuted at Falcon, the valve covers had Wheatley paint on them.
Oh,
like
they
were
did
painted
not.
little weed. Yeah, they did. And Falcon was not with that. They were like, no.
This is
No,
pre-legal
like-
weed. This is no, that's
If
on
you're-
Odie,
yeah,
dog.
this is
That's
how.
he's too close. He's way too close.
But Forsberg definitely overcooked that initiation.
Forsberg's also smart enough to do something like that on purpose, knowing that it's gonna put Odie in the trash. No, he
God, yeah, no, he definitely overcooked. He definitely overcooked that initiation, though. He threw way too much angle on that. He was not. He was. If Odie didn't hit him,
he would have
he
spun
would
out.
have. Yeah.
This one's gonna be. This is one of those ones.
Ryan Sage, the genius of Ryan Sage. This is one of those ones.
They're gonna say that Odie pushed him.
They're gonna say that Odie was too close and didn't give him his space for initiation, which is the same shit.
They're showing the beginning in
Odie's
slow
on his
motion,
bumper.
and you see Chris's bumper lift a little bit, so they're gonna say Odie pushed him.
And then watching the replay, you can see that he actually did hit him before Chris initiated. Now, did that cause Chris to over-rotate? I don't know, but should Odie be hitting Chris before he initiates? No.
Right, so let's lay out the options.
Yeah, Lamontagne saying that he hit that Odie hit Chris before he initiated, bumped his rear bumper.
What did you call him?
Lamontagne, Ryan Lamontagne, the fucking not Sage, the other one, the judge.
No, I know. It sounds like you're saying Lamontagne.
No fault because it's
Like, are you turning him into a black dude?
You guys have a chart that you go
Oh.
through that says, did this happen?
I mean,
Did this
he
happen
should be
in
so
this
lucky.
area? That not happen. So those are basically your
Shouldn't we
options,
all?
right?
Wow,
Yes and
says
no.
the
And
black
that's
dude.
talking about a drift that has already started.
Speaking from experience, my friend.
All right, so he
And in the initiation side of things,
didn't hit him,
the right of way 100% of the time. If the chase driver
bro. He did not
didn't
hit
bump
him.
point in
He
time, it's 100% the chase driver's
he's
fault.
real. So
If he didn't bump him, then I gotta say that's Chris Forsberg's fault.
I
went
don't
under a
think
little
that
bit
Odie
too.
actually hit him. The angle that they have is very far away. Not very. I mean, it's that normal.
Yeah, no, he didn't touch him.
He
didn't
got
touch
real
him. That's
close
Chris
to him.
Forsberg's fault.
He got nut
That's
to butt
Chris's
with him,
fault.
but Odie's bumper doesn't flex, dude. And from that's the shadow off Chris's car. And Chris slowed down like a motherfucker, and Odie hammered it because Chris usually goes into that corner fast as fuck.
That's Osbo and Field in St. Louis, right? So Field goes to initiate.
Yeah, they're talking about Osbo and Field in St. Louis when Osbo tapped Matt Field on entry, on initiation.
And it just got weird and wonky. But regardless, like you say, doesn't even matter what happened to Chris because the hit happened.
Exactly.
He didn't hit him. If you've ever driven close to somebody in a canyon, you know how close it can look like you are before you're actually hitting somebody.
Doing that was a coincidence.
Remember that night?
When Zach bumped you? Zach
bumped me. Zach bumped me a couple of different times.
At like 60 miles an hour up a hill in a mountain in the middle of the night? Yeah, I remember that.
Thank God I was driving a heavy ass Mustang and he's bumping me with a little taggy because had I been in like a 240 or something, that would have definitely.
That would have been rough.
No, remember the night we were with God, I was driving your car. I don't know why I was driving your car. And we were chasing old boy and he was driving somebody else's 300ZX.
You were driving my car, and Moses was driving.
Was
driving Joseph's 300ZX that was dumped.
And he went all wonky in front of me.
Yeah, I remember that, and we were all trying to tell him like, bro, that shit's. This is when Hella Flush was like at its peak, right? And Joseph's non-turbo.
At its beginning.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it plateaued pretty quick, that guy. But yeah, it was a non-turbo red 300ZX, and he had BS XXs on that thing at the time. He had a nice set of wheels on that thing, but he had it dumped, and it wasn't set up right. It wasn't aligned properly. So if you've ever like dumped a car where it's lip to fender fitment and it's not set up properly, like they're not stable at all. Like they're not stable cars. They're they like to float. Especially something old with no ABS and like no traction control and shit like that. Like it just likes to get fucking out of control.
And he just dumped it, right? Like I don't think he did like any
supporting
bump steer or anything like that. Like he just so that
bump steer is still a
control
thing
arm
that people,
articulation, everything is probably just
the amount of people that dump their shit and don't put bump steer kits on it blows my mind. Like blows my mind because I did it the same time that I put the coilovers on my STI. I was like, give me the roll center adjusters and give me the coilovers and the rear LCAs. Like, I want a real functioning suspension. You know what I mean? Like, I want as close as I can get to factory steering geometry. Because obviously,
I don't want to look the part. I would actually be the part.
Yeah, exactly. And there's so many people that it's such a cheap. It's a $300 mod, dude. Right? So in the grand
for bump steer,
yeah. For my
Mustangs,
car.
it's like for Mustang, it's like $200.
Okay, right. It's mostly
for
ball joints
really
and tie
good
rods,
bump steer
right?
kit.
Yeah, it's ball joints and tie rods, right? Which if you're throwing a front angle kit on a Mustang, it's basically just ball joints because you're probably throwing tie rods on it anyway. Doesn't matter. That's all mine was lower ball joints and tie rods, just to kind of get right because you dump the car, the steering rack does this shit, so you're just trying to bring it back down to kind of normal.
Well, actually, no, ours isn't ball joints. It's
it's
tie rods. It's where the tie rod, because the tie rod picks up in a different spot. So when you lower it, it does this.
Up. Yeah.
So this is it's like spacers that
to drop the tie rod back down in a normal angle.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're just trying to keep all that geometry, all that movement as factory as it can be. Which, yes, lowers your control arms lower to the ground, so you do have a higher risk of like suspension arms hitting shit. But nothing that's
But that's the risk you take.
Well, and also that, and it's like nothing that wasn't gonna get taken out by your front bumper anyway. So like, just don't drive over shit that high if you're in a lower car. Spoiler alert. But yeah, it's just it's one of those really simple things, and it applies to any car. I would say especially a drift car because bump steers sideways even at 40 miles an hour. You don't want that. You don't want that heat.
You don't want that.
You're gonna get ripped out of a drift, and especially if you're in tandem, that shit could go.
You definitely don't want that.
Yeah, you know, your
You
front
get tits up
suspension
real
needs to be
quick.
dialed, dude. You know what I mean? The rear suspension, you know, you want droop, you want it soft enough to be able to keep contact with the ground, stay in drift, that kind of shit. But and that's pretty easy to execute. The rear suspension setup on a lot of cars, it's really how stiff of a sway bar do you need, how, you know, what kind of spring rates are you looking at. It's not like fucking rocket science in the rear end. But the front is where all the magic happens, right? That's where you get all the angle. That's where you get the ability to go around those corners faster and all that shit. And it's like, that shit's not set up right. I mean, why do you think angle kits are so fucking expensive, right?
Guys, thank you so much. Odie has his hands on the tire.
Yeah, angle kits are really expensive.
Between you and Chris
But I mean,
there's really only 2 or 3 really good angle kits out from my car.
Yeah.
And like the cheapest one, which is plenty, like it's
is that the Duncan Motorsports one?
No, it's another guy.
There's a couple
but it's
of
a different it's a different control arm. But instead of changing the knuckle, it has a block with different pickup points for the tie rod.
Oh, so it's almost like how Part Shop Max sets their shit up with a ton of adjustment, but it's just like like an adapter. That's cool.
Yeah, so that's the cheapest one, but it's really good. I'm probably gonna end up getting that. But that's the cheapest one, and it comes in at like $900 almost.
Yeah, well, like
Duncan, everything from Duncan, and there's another one called FBF Fab or something like that.
Yeah,
my
there's
buddy
Detroit
sent me,
Drifting Company,
and they're like $1,200.
Yeah.
For theirs, which is a full-on different setup.
Here we go. Here's that one more time.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Turk's not fucking with this dude anymore. Yeah, Turk. Nah. He said fuck Dean Carney. Yeah, and then Dean Carney said fuck Dean Carney. I'll be right back.
All right, well, I'm just seeing it, so Turk has good initiation, hitting all the clipping points.
It seemed like Turk had maybe made some changes right from initiation.
Hits the outside zone. Oh, Dean Carney goes off track, chasing him through the last outside zone. So Ryan Turk is really doing really well this season. A new car. Yeah, it's just he just seems really dialed in. Dean Kearney's been piloting this Viper for quite some time. Still seems to be fighting the car. I wonder why it is that they keep bringing that car back.
They're just not as confident. You saw, you know, in that first run, you know, Carney just looks really rock solid. Looked like you said, just had a lot of grip. He has that grip, but seems that Ryan.
So if you guys are watching or listening, probably watching, if you're drinking with us, tell them, leave it in the comments what you're drinking on. I am currently, we're doing the Bud Lights for one more time. I went to Taco Bell, so I had a Mountain Dew. And now I'm drinking tequila. Casamigos. We're not sponsored by them.
What did I miss?
Ryan Turk and Dean Kearney. Yeah.
Going off track like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
Odie backing it up as well, but right now we are seeing where is Turk at?
Oh, Turk fuck up.
Turk San Diego. From Nashville to Norway down into Zimbabwe. All right.
Is he calling up 5 minutes?
I think he called it. No, he's back up. He pulled back up.
Okay.
See what he's got. Talking to his spotter.
Probably just made a wrong turn when he got off the track.
Probably.
Saw that quick little.
That may have been why he took the long way. Sometimes people do that longer way around at other tracks because they got to cool the car down.
Right.
So not sure what's going on
here.
Yeah,
but that little flick seemed like he wasn't confident with maybe suspension or something like that. Something set up. Just kind of checking it.
Kind of saying, hey, how you doing?
It's kind of like when I'm about to do the sprints and stuff.
Here we go.
It out real quick. Here
I wish I could post to Instagram from my computer.
Lead. Ryan Turk giving chase. Good initiation from Dean Carney. Now past that front.
Turk's just gonna do this super fucking conservative thing.
Remember, Dean has that major.
Are Michael Essa and Dye sponsored by the same company?
Which company? I don't think so. Michael S is like
their livery looks
privateer.
Yeah, but their livery looks very similar.
No, Dye's turn 14. And turn 14's colors are white and blue.
Right. So are Michael S's. He has the same
he's
blue. He has the same blue fender mark or hood marks going up his hood like Dye has going. Only reason I say is because they showed Dye's car parked in the background and Michael S was rolling up to the warm up box. Yeah, and it was like, well, these are very similar looking.
In order to force
color scheme.
One more time, or at least an analysis of the lead runs.
To the surprise of no one, Ryan Turk.
So this should go to Ryan Turk. This is
There's no way that doesn't go to Ryan Turk.
No.
Absolutely no way.
Something like a one more time. How dare you?
Is going against Adam LZ. So our points leader going against Adam LZ. And there are the points, Ryan.
Turk versus dude. Adam LZ cannot catch a break this season, dude. He's like constantly going against Forsberg twice.
He's pulling all the guys.
Yeah, I mean, it's good for him in the sense that it'll make him better. But like, it's obviously not an easy first season. Oswald Anova, Gitten Taguchi,
so how do you
Turk, Yoshihara versus Forsberg and Odie. Ooh, that's good.
And just to come back to it for those that are just
well, I mean, it's
I feel for Dean Carney right now. Because in the last run we were talking about it, we were both kind of leaning towards Dean Carney. It was like, okay, we understand the one more time, but he had a better he was the better driver. And then you get the one more time, and you just get blown off the track.
Yeah,
like, you don't even. It's not even a. The refs don't even have. I mean, not the refs. The judges don't even have to like really talk about this. It was all
he went off. I mean, he fucking
real quick. Yeah.
Barring the most that he went off on a lead run, right? So
chase run.
Oh, he went off on a chase run. So all. He would have had to put so much pressure to be able to, you know what I mean? Like, it just, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, his lead run, Ryan Turk would have to have fucked up on his chase.
Yeah, which Ryan Turk's not going to do, right? Ryan Turk's not.
Especially since, like, I'm sure his spotter was like, okay, he went off. Like, you've got to just, because you can tell he was chasing, but he wasn't being super aggressive.
No, he was just making sure to not get an inactive chase. He just didn't want to get an active chase run, right? That's the biggest thing. And I fucking hate that shit. Like, I mean, I know it's smart. It's obviously the smart thing to do, right? It's just boring as fuck to watch. Again, here, Forsberg.
I was thinking about that. Like, how is it that we could change that? Like, how could they change that?
There's no way to change that.
Because I know back in the day, they just didn't tell drivers who was winning. Like,
but when somebody goes off, it's pretty obvious like who's not winning.
True.
You know what I mean? It's not like that. And you don't see this a lot. You don't see the really conservative chase runs when they're close, right? Because then it's like,
I need to be here.
I like when, the only time it gets interesting is when it's like, dude fucks up a lead run, and then on his chase run, he tries to apply a bunch of pressure to try to force a mistake to go for the OMT. Like, that's cool. That's entertaining to watch. And I think you don't get one without the other, right? Like, you're not going to get that moment without the conservative runs as the safety net when you know you don't have to push super hard. Like this with Forsberg. Forsberg knows he doesn't really have to go after Odie.
Right.
Because Odie fucked up his lead run.
Forsberg! And he's not, and you can tell he's not even trying.
No.
He's not trying.
Not at all.
He's just there.
Yeah,
he's not even trying to hit any clips. He's not even trying to hit any clipping points. He's just like, dude, I've just got to be here.
He's also
almost sponsored by 7-Eleven.
No, he's not.
Yes, look at the driver's side rear fender.
Holy shit, he is sponsored by 7-Eleven.
That's a goddamn 7-Eleven. I know that goddamn symbol.
He's also still sponsored by NOS Energy Drink after like a billion years.
So questioning here to see.
Don't you drink Nas?
No, I don't
Or
drink any
Rockstar?
energy drinks. I don't drink any energy drinks.
You used to drink one of them shits.
I used to
like,
drink the Rehab Rockstar
religiously.
after
Dude.
I go pound a bottle of Jägermeister to the dome every night. Yeah, I would do that. Yeah, sorry, LA. Sorry, everybody watching. I was a scumbag.
So let's dive into it.
You used to come to school with like your rock stars. Like, all right, this is my before class rock star. This is my lunch break rock star.
I wasn't that bad.
Just,
no, lunch break.
Just in case I need one for the drive home.
No, lunch break was for Locos, bro. It wasn't Rockstars.
Lunch break was.
Lunch break was a shit show. All right, here we go.
Lunch
To the
break was
surprise
so
of no one,
responsible.
Chris Forsberg gets
Chris
the win.
Forsberg.
To the surprise of literally nobody, Chris Forsberg gets the win. Cool. Most entertaining thing in FD history. Chris Forsberg winning another round. He wins the battles, but he doesn't podium super consistently.
Not really.
I also
wait, Forsberg?
Yeah. That's super consistent. He always gets
not as much as he used to.
He's
usually in the top. He's usually in the top. Like he makes it to the grade 8 every week or every event, so he stays pretty close in points, I guess.
He's operating in that. Yeah, he's in the like in F1 they'd call him like the best of the rest, right? Like he's always there. He's always there. Yeah. He's always going to be in that spot, but I mean that could be a. Like, that dude's driving an old car. It's a fucking old car. It might be nice to have.
He's already a multi-time champion, right?
He has 2 championships, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Which, I mean, yeah, I guess you can't. I can't really talk shit. It's got twice as many championships as I do. It's always interesting to watch what fucking ads they put in this thing.
Is that Brid?
No, the
Brid seat ad.
Yeah, the Brid seat one. Which I blew my homie's mind the other day when he called it Bride, and I was like, "Nah, it's Brid." He goes, "What?" It's like, "Yeah, dude. It was on a podcast. It was Chris. It was Chris." I was like, "Why is it?"
Yeah, no, I heard it.
Because it's Japanese. Well, maybe the 3 people watching haven't heard Jamal. You ever thought about that? It's not all about you, okay?
I'm sure if they're watching this, they probably listen to that.
Yeah, probably.
Control is the perfect state.
Unless they know me, then they probably didn't.
I feel a little offended that you said that. I don't really know how to take that. Well, tell them to fucking go watch, goddammit.
I did. It's on the page. If you're watching this and you're one of my people and you know me, check out the RevMatch podcast too.
This shit's funny.
That shit's funny.
And as long as Jamal doesn't fuck up, maybe we'll have him on one day.
It's a lot of it's a lot of STI talk, but it's
we've
funny.
Dialed it back. It's gotten dialed back. There's only 2.
As long as I don't fuck up. Fuck up how?
You're like, what is there to fuck up? Like 25 people listen to this podcast.
We're here for the perfectionists.
Oh, fuck. Hey, I'll take 25 in less than 2 months. That's better than nobody in less than 2 months.
Yeah.
There's actually people watching, or at least leaving this running. I'll take that over nobody caring. I'll take that over nobody caring. Fuck.
Yeah.
And none of them are us, which is great, because I don't even have it running.
Neither do I.
Oh, fuck.
I'll watch it later.
You're gonna watch yourself talk about Formula Drift later? I'm never watching this again. I'm watching it as long as...
No, I'm not gonna watch it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna watch it. I'll listen to it later. Podcast while I'm driving.
I'll put this up
something.
Tomorrow. I'm not fucking staying up all night to edit this shit tonight.
Dude, so I'm out yesterday driving, doing some deliveries or whatnot, and I remember that game we used to play where we would send each other pictures of cars.
And yes.
So is this your people?
Your people are my people, yeah.
Yeah. So there's a gray Mustang, like mine.
Okay, New Edge, got it.
New Edge Mustang. Full on, I don't even know the name of the body kit because all Mustang body kits are terrible.
They're all bad. Only
They're
OEM
all
bumpers.
bad.
Only OEM.
Only
bumpers.
OEM. Only you go Cobra, you go Saline. You don't do a body kit on that thing. That's
No.
that's it.
American
So
body
it's got
kits are bad. They're all bad.
It's got
I
a
don't care. They're
all
all bad.
Yeah.
There isn't
It's
one
got a
that's ever been
full.
made that was good.
It's got a full body kit on it. And you know how the my Mustang the GTs came with the hood scoop?
Yes.
So it's got a hood scoop on the roof.
Oh.
It's got one on the hood, but there's another one.
It's a dual scoop
on the roof.
A dual scoop.
Dual scoop. Dual non-functional scooping.
Yeah, that's the worst part, right? Like you double down on something you do shit to begin with. So good, dude.
You went through the hassle, like, okay, so I have two of these new edge Mustangs with the GT hood scoop. I had to go out and find a hood scoop for one of my cars. It's not easy.
Really?
Like at the junkyards, oh god, the junkyards, like the people who run the junkyards, like I got cool with one of the dudes, so he told me what day they bring new cars in, so like I'll try to go on that day. But the regulars at the junkyard already know that. So they're already at the cars that just got pulled, and they know what.
Scream LA, the fact that there's regulars at the junkyard, like I don't know.
I know.
That's not the most LA thing I've ever heard in my whole life.
Right, there's regulars at the junkyard, but there's like dudes who are there every week, and they know what they're looking for. It like Mustang GT hood scoops. Yeah, the hood scoops, the fucking rear ends, that rear end, they want those. They're coming for that.
Those are 9 inches.
But
no, those are 8.8s in that thing, right?
8.8s, yeah.
Just almost as good as a 9 inch. Almost.
Yeah.
It's still way better than a Chevy 10 Volt.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Literally anything. Any one of the diffs in my STI is better than a Chevy 10 Volt, so it's fine.
That part I don't understand. Like, come on, Chevy. You guys do great.
Everything else except that. Well, that and visibility.
Not everything else. Great, you know.
Oh, they both.
Drivetrain.
What? What?
I'm so mad that it's late, but it's kind of funny.
You'll see.
Super unexpected.
Osbo.
Bruh.
Yeah, that was my first intuition.
Look at Chelsea DeNova. Oh! Oh!
They both fucked up. They both Chelsea did.
That is really.
We've got dual.
I'd say that's Osbo's fault. Because Chelsea is fucking following like he should.
Backs off for a second, then through inside clip one.
They've literally said, "What do you do? What am I supposed to do as a chase driver when the lead driver goes wide? You go wide with him."
You go wide with him.
Man,
Osbo was already going off course.
He was right to the edge of the course there as Innova was accelerating. We'll take a look.
Chasing to me is like the equivalent of playing cornerback in football. Like that's what I used to play, and I had a coach that told me, like, he goes, "This wide receiver, this dude you're chasing, he's your only concern. I want you to go everywhere he goes. If he runs to the 50, you run to the 50. If he goes to the bathroom, I want you to be standing there to hand him toilet paper when he walks out the stall."
Jesus Christ.
He was like, that's how close you, but he's like, that's what you need to, that's all you need to do. Like, that's all I care about.
Right.
I go, well, what if? And he goes, there is no what if. Like, that's not your job. What if is this guy?
Your job is to do what the fuck I tell you.
Your job is this guy. So, like, I feel like that's how Formula chases should be. Like, that's your job. Like, if he goes shallow, you go shallow.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, if that's what you want me to be, if proximity is what you want, and you want me to be close, and you want me to be there, then this is what you're gonna get.
I think that's fair. I think that's totally fair. I think that.
So if we both go off track, no matter even if Chelsea went off first, it's like you were following his line.
I think that's like the determining factor, right? Like if you're following his line and you go off, like that's not on me, homie. That's on him.
So if the case is that Osbo, you know, again the judges are.
Yeah, that's what they're saying right now, is that he's doing everything he was supposed to do as a chase driver.
Yeah, they're trying to assign fault because Osbo needs work on his car.
Oh, well, Osbo went off first, so
yeah,
that should
no,
be his
Osbo
fault
went off
right
first,
now.
and then Chelsea tapped him, but he was already going off. Like, there's nothing.
Who cares?
That's Chelsea doing his job and being 6 inches away from Osbo and can't slow down as fast as the dirt's making Osbo slow down, right? And then he hits the dirt too.
This is
No, they're just trying to assign fault because I'm sure it looks like Osmo needs his car worked on, and they're trying to see if he has to use his timeout or if he gets to just go do it.
Yeah, that's that third out.
How do you feel about the 5-minute rule?
The comp timeout?
Do you think that that's enough time? Do you feel like
I think
there should be more than one?
It's
like
one
de-beating tires in a sport where you go through tires more consistently through than anything else you go through, with the exception of gasoline. If you de-beat a tire going sideways, which is something that the rim, tire, and car aren't meant to do in the first place, hey, if you want this sport to keep going and I de-beat, how about you give me a minute to go get another fucking tire?
Yeah, I think that's a good point because it's like
that's our intention. That's why
I just wanted to make it clear that we weren't over here trying to make our minds up. We as you said, Osmo
they're saying
went two
something
wheels
with it.
off while he was on the pavement on the runoff road over there, then ended up going in the dirt and led Chelsea off track, and that's totally exactly what happened. We were just waiting because now Chelsea has damage and he needed to go get his car checked. We had to.
Chelsea needs to get his car checked.
Osmo, because he was the one leading. Chelsea was, as you said, following him as he should have, and ended up in a precarious situation that damaged his car. There's a big drop off over there.
Right.
There was some big puddles, and with the cars going off over and over again over the weekend, it's dug it out pretty deep. So the cars probably ended up getting high sided on that on the edge of the pavement there, and maybe have some damage underneath. So they're checking that out. And
they're just checking everything out. So no, they've already agreed that Osmo fucked up.
Yeah.
Do you remember when Mad Mike had the Miata, the 4-rotor Miata, and he was running those like bead look wheels in the rear? They had that flange.
Yeah.
And he got caught gluing the tire to that flange. And it was like a whole fucking thing because
I thought that was so stupid, but yeah, I remember that.
Well, it's a thing of like he's getting an advantage that nobody else has, right? He has a flange that will keep his tire from debeating, and he's gluing it to the flange to even assist, at least on that outside edge, right? So if it's to the point where the cars are now getting so fast and pushing so hard to where a driver, especially somebody who can drive to the level that like Mad Mike can, is looking for an opportunity, which, I mean, every race car driver, your biggest competitor is the rulebook, right? You're always trying to skirt the rulebook, all the way up to F1, right? Whatever. But, yeah, it's like, if the tire fucking debeats and I'm doing my job, like, I don't know, I don't think it should wipe the run out, but, like, let me go fix my fucking car. Like, you know what I mean? Let me go put a tire on my car real quick. Like, what am I supposed to do?
Right, because it's not like I'm trying to pull the rear axle or anything like that. I've probably already got another set of wheels
I just want to
waiting by with tires on it. We've got these, they've got it to the point where you pull up and they lift, lift it from the diff, like Peter Finley. Look at that.
Fuck.
Like you get it gone. I miss Peter.
I miss Peter Finley.
I miss Peter, man. I gotta find Peter somehow, some way.
It's interesting. I do think that
if the 3 people that are watching this show, if for some,
ever heard of Peter
some
Finley?
odd reason, if you know a guy named Peter Finley, you tell him we're looking for him.
We're looking for him. No, I think it's rough, right? It's like, considering the amount of shit you see fixed in 5 minutes, that leads me to think that it is enough time, and they get 1 per round, right? So top 32, they get a comp timeout. Top 16, they get a comp timeout. Great 8, they get a comp timeout. Final 4, they get a comp timeout. And then the final, they get a comp timeout. I think that's enough. I also think it's fair that if somebody gets hit, they get 10. I think you might need to push that to 15. Because if somebody gets hit to the point where they have to pit their car, you should be giving them as much time as feasibly possible without completely dragging the event on for hours, right?
Mm-hmm.
To be able to fix their shit, because they didn't do anything wrong. You know what I mean? Like, that would probably be my only thing. Would be like, if I get nailed, I should have more than 10 minutes to unplug my car. Like, I should be able to put my shit
right.
And granted, they've done it. Like, Osmo did it that other event where his whole left side suspension got fucked. He was able to put the car back together, but it's like, I don't know. I'm of 2 minds on it. I think they get enough timeouts. I think the 5 minutes is cool, especially as specialized as these cars have gotten. like they're full on fucking race cars anymore. You know what I mean? You're not fighting anything that isn't needed to be there anymore. So
right, everything's just okay. Unbolt this, we can get to that, snatch
all
that off,
right,
put
none of
this
the
one
bolts
back
are
on.
rusty. Oh, is
Yeah,
Taguchi
so
gonna try to
I
like?
think the 5 minutes is. I think if you went to a fair 10 minutes, I'd be a little bit happier because you see a lot of these guys just barely hit the 5 minutes, and it's like, all right, I've seen guys who have gone in for like suspension issues,
Yeah.
and you give them 5 minutes, and that's really just enough time. Wow, Gucci just
he fucked up.
gave up on that one.
Yeah.
You have to imagine.
I
Yeah,
like that car.
Vaughn.
God, I fucking
Get
like
that Mustang on top. Get that Mustang on top.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, bro.
But
There's
all
enough
right,
crowds to go
all right.
around. There's
Shut
enough
up.
crowds to go
Shut
around.
up. There's enough crowds for all of us. So, what were we saying?
I don't know what the fuck.
Oh, so the 5 minutes.
Oh yeah, you were saying you'd like to go.
So yeah, so like I've seen people get hit and have to go call 5 minutes, or like something happened and they go call 5 minutes, suspension issue, and 5 minutes isn't enough time for me to swap out the suspension part, reconnect all the shit back to it, and then align it. They're usually getting eyeball alignments, and then most of the time when you see, I want to say like I don't know if anybody's ever done this because I don't think people care that much, but if there was somebody out there keeping stats of like these kind of things and the rate at which the drivers came back and did well, I feel like most of them don't.
I see what you. Yeah,
I feel like
because the
most
car
of
is
them
not
don't.
quite proper, right? But I think that that's the
Right,
thing.
most
is,
of
like,
them come back out after that one more time, and half the time they don't even finish their run. It's like, okay, well, whatever was the issue is still the issue. So,
But I think that's
it's
kind
like,
of
what
the
are we doing
point,
5 minutes for?
Because you got to think, like, if you get hit and you're not at fault, you get 10, right? So you have an extra 5 minutes. If you're forced to use a comp timeout, that means that either one of your techs missed something in between rounds, or before top 32, right before top 32, before top 16, you went offline and damaged your car, which is your fault, right? Which is why you're calling a timeout. Or you hit somebody, which is also your fault. And I think yeah, OD in round one, dude. Like,
depending on who we're,
bro.
But no, I get what you said.
Tell me why I went and looked at.
Said.
Tell me why I looked at Formula Derp's IG page, because he's been quiet this season for obvious reasons, right? But like one of the only recent posts is like so like he was talking shit about the OD Rome Chamberlain fucking call where OD totally fucking hit Rome and then somehow it was Rome's fault. It's like what? Yeah. So yeah, in situations like that, it's fucked, right? But I think that that's a bigger issue of the quality of judging more than the system of timeouts they have. I don't think, if I was going to say anything, I think that the two biggest crutches that, not crutches, but the two biggest issues that Formula D has right now are track layout and quality of judgment. Those are the two major things at this point. And then obviously the live stream technical difficulties, which they've seemed like they've gotten better this season, or as the season's progressed at least. Like I still think that
the way I still think the events take too long.
They do take
even
a very
as being
long
like
time.
As somebody who goes to events and sits there, and I'm just like,
it's a 6 hour ordeal.
I'm sitting here. Yeah, I'm sitting here, and it's like, yeah, like, you know, me and you, we used to get like wasted when we went, so we don't know how long we were there. We don't know how long we were there.
What do you think about what we're doing right now?
Right. Remember, we were super broke, had just enough money to buy tickets and, like, you know, party bag stuff.
Yeah.
And we parked like a mile away and walked to Irwindale.
Fuck, that's right. We pounded 40s in the Mustang, smoked a blunt, and fucking walked a mile to Formula D. Holy fuck,
Left
that's
my car in an industrial area.
Because we didn't want to pay the $10 for parking. Because we needed to put gas in the stand to get home. That's right. Because I needed you to take me back to my crib on your way home. That's right. Fuck, that's so funny, dude. How we're pieces of shit.
Man. That was a good day.
That was a good
We had
day. And then
so much fun that
we
day.
snuck a joint into the spot and we smoked it in the hot pit. In between top 32 and top 16.
Yeah.
Those were the days, bro. I remember that last draft.
It's funny how you appreciate stuff like that when you don't have anything. When it's just like
that was a good ass
scrape
day.
so much just to get here. Yeah,
dude,
but it's like we had to do so much just to
Didn't
get there.
Like,
it was
take
like, dude, I'm gonna have a good time
that
no matter
morning
what.
or some shit. Like we fucking.
I don't know.
We did
may
some,
have.
yeah. I remember partying at Derek's house, and do you remember partying at Derek's house and him just be like, throw it in the pile when you're done? And he would just have a pile of aluminum and glass in the backyard. And then when things got real tight and everybody was broke, we go turn it in. Bro, tell me why one night we went and turned this shit in. There was $147 worth of aluminum and glass in the back of Derek's yard. We threw a party, like a full-on party in Derek's backyard.
I've done that to go to Vegas.
Tight.
I planned to go to Vegas one time. And like I had to like I don't gamble, so I don't need a lot of money when I go to Vegas. Like I'm just going there to like, you know, just not feel bad about being drunk at 8 a.m. Like that's the only reason I go to Vegas. Really.
No, exactly. I grew up too poor to play with money like that. Shit makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah,
it does. It makes me uncomfortable.
So, yeah, like just seeing people do it makes me uncomfortable. Like just walking through the casino and seeing people just like drop $20 on the table and throw some dice at it, and it's like, really? You could have just handed me that 20, and then
got the same effect.
And wondered if I would have given it back or not. Like that, yeah, you would have got the same effect because I'm not going to give it back. So you would have lost the 20 either way. But
could have gone to some other poor impoverished. What is going on over
here? Yeah. What are you doing?
No, some fucking my computer's being fucky. We're good. We back.
All right, the Toyota's little maid service here, leaving a mint on the pillow for us.
Yeah. No, I look back at those days, dude. The last drift event I went to before when we went to Long Beach that one time.
Oh, and it rained.
And it was like didn't Jess and K-Fed go back to the room and just take a nap? We were like,
that was the best thing ever because we took them out there and it rained and both of them were miserable. But we were having the best time. And then they left. They were like, we're cool. Like, you guys can hang out at this event and do your own thing. We're just going to go back to the hotel room and drink and take a nap or whatever. And as soon as they left, it stopped raining and the event got really good. And we were like, really perfect.
It was pretty perfect. Good. It was a good day. It was definitely a good day. But the one prior to that, I went to, it was just me, you, and K-Fed that went that time. And that was I was also in Long Beach. But
remember the year before.
Yeah, remember we were drinking fucking. No, this was like 2-3 years before. This is before Jude was born. This is when I still lived in LA.
Oh, that's right. When you came to the last one, Jude was already born. Forgot about that.
No, but we were drinking like $15 margaritas and shit, and I was like, this is such a different experience than how I used to come to drift events, dude.
Oh yeah, we did. Like we showed up. Everybody had like good jobs and shit. And
we were all making money. It was just different, man. And I kind of
went to the bar first. Yeah, we went to the bar
bought
first.
Food.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I respect Taguchi for trying.
There's something different about like scumbagging at that Formula D.
Yeah, it brings back the good vibes.
That's why I'm excited to finish my car and start hitting grassroots events, because that's all it is. Like, you're scumbagging at a grassroots event.
Yeah, I need a car, dude.
I mean, I guess I could blunts in the back of the U-Haul.
I guess I could go fucking drift the STI, but it's gonna get expensive real fast.
What are you, Kumakubo?
What? Yo, you throw those things in real.
Team Orange out here.
If you full, because you can control how much lock the center diff has. And you can basically almost.
Oh, so you can control the bias of.
Yeah, and it goes pretty fucking.
What's it like 80-20?
It's 80-20. You can full on swing an STI. People think you can't. You got to throw a lot of gas at it, and you got to be real aggressive with it because it's still trying to grip with the front end. But
perfect.
It'll do it. Like, You won't. I wouldn't be able to like actually tandem with anybody, dude. I'd be too fucking all over.
No, but you can go out there and you can go out there and fuck around on your own.
I could run a couple laps and like be funny. You know what I mean? Like more than anything, just be the fucking idiot out there in an STI that isn't rear wheel drive converted trying to fucking drift. But
well, it looks like obviously
I still
want to look at it, give themselves some greater.
I got to figure out where we're gonna end up, dude, before I do anything. You know.
Talked about that ad nauseum.
Oh, with the
we might be in Nevada in a battle of months. So it's like
you were telling me that.
So it could.
But technically, you'll be closer, so it's all good.
Yeah, and Vegas drifts right there, which is tight.
Yeah.
So I'm not mad about that.
I'm down to fuck a Vegas drift.
Yeah, let's chill out there. Why are they even side by siding this right now?
I don't know. I'm gonna go. I gotta go hit the head. I'll be right back. Entertain the people.
They're showing an Osbo replay on the left. Son of a bitch.
All right. So
the fact that this is even taking this long, I don't understand. Taguchi literally shit the bed.
What's up?
Of what we're looking at right now. We're trying to get the drone shot from outside zone number 3. We want to make sure it
with Kazuya leading.
Yes, with Kazuya leading. Kind of looks like Vaughn may have gone. We know it was 2 wheels. Could have potentially been 3 wheels off there. We're looking at that white line, so we're trying to get the drone shot replay right now.
No way, Vaughn shit the bed on his chase run.
That area to make sure that we're making the right.
And while we have you on, tell us what you think about Taguchi in that decel area. Is that fine? Is it normal? What do you think happened to Vaughn there? Did he come
That's
to the
insane.
smoke line very quickly? Come in with too much momentum?
If he actually,
where's the thought process there?
So in the beginning, it looked like Vaughn gave him a little bit of room, maybe gave him too much room up to initiation, and then there was too much of a gap built up, and Vaughn was trying to catch up to Taguchi, and you could see that Vaughn rotated too early for outside zone 3. And then it put him on a weird.
So he overcooked it trying to catch up because he gave him too much leg, which is incredibly stupid to do when you're in a position of.
It gets into a situation
the chase driver and the previous run completely fucked up.
Vaughn's closing rate may have been higher than he expected coming through the smoke.
All right, so here we go.
He had to really slam on the brakes.
Inside 1, outside 2.
So we're
He's pretty far away.
Hopefully we can look at that white line
gassing
on the ground. You can see Vaughn at very low angle there as well.
Yeah.
So that is.
Oh, he's off track.
So now you got. So okay. So if it's 3 tires off and everything Taguchi did was not related to Vaughn's mistake, then what that would mean, at least for you, is an analysis of comparing the leads.
Yep.
Is that right, Ryan?
Yeah. So now. Both chases, if they're incomplete, then you're going to the leads, just as you said. And then, you can see here Taguchi's making some pretty serious errors in the lead position.
So it could be.
Yeah, then it still doesn't matter because Taguchi's lead run was shit and Vaughn's was pretty on point.
Remember, I introduced that one last event.
Did you? I don't.
You kind of reacted the same way.
I chose to maybe not acknowledge it and erase that from my memory.
The fact that this is taking this long is kind of ridiculous.
Remember that?
From Sesame Street?
So
Vaughn went 3 tires off, it looks like.
Yeah, Vaughn dropped 3 wheels, so they're saying that both chase runs are incomplete. Which is... So they're going to leads, but then Taguchi went super shallow on outside 4, so it's still Vaughn. Like, I don't understand why we had to sit here and wait for that, dude.
It's the reason why Vaughn wins here, right? And there would have been different reasons. In the first one, he wins because Taguchi incompletes. In the second one, he incompletes along with Taguchi, but he had the better lead.
So Vaughn got it. All right, I don't need this yet.
Yeah.
Those 2 reasons are different.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't need anything right now.
Just tequila.
Oh.
I love how they're like, the tracks that they're at, like Texas Motor Speedway, is such a huge facility that they've got like a full-on drift event going on. Inner track. And they've got some sort of circle racing going on the on the big oval.
Fuck it. Yeah. Well, no, you remember round 1? And there's like kart racing going on in the background.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, dude. It's stupid.
Talk about a distraction for those kids. Like, you're trying to be kart racing, you're trying to catch the next turn, and two cars come speeding by you sideways. Like,
yeah, it's
crash into the
ridiculous.
wall.
It's absolutely ridiculous. But I mean, it kind of just, it is what it is right now. I don't think they're.
Well, I mean, some of these facilities are just huge. Like, we go to Irwindale, which isn't that large of a facility. Long Beach is just the streets, and they just block it off in certain areas.
Yeah.
Connect streets and parking lots together to make a racetrack. But like, I went to God, what was that meet I went to? Not SoCal S Chassis, but it was like an S Chassis meet that I went to. Fontana. You been to Fontana?
I have been
Motor
to Fontana.
Speedway.
Yeah.
Amazing facility, right? Yeah. Like, beautiful place. But grassroots guys fucked it up, so we can't go back to Fontana.
How did grassroots guys fucked it up?
Well, I'm not gonna say grassroots guys. It was grassroots events that they used to be allowed to be held at Fontana. And you just got those guys in the crowd that's like, you're already at Fontana, you're using the track. When you leave, just leave. Like,
yeah, like, don't rice her out of there, right?
And that's exactly what they're doing, because I don't know how long ago you've been to Fontana, but the roads to get from certain tracks to other tracks look like race road. It looks like the
they're
racetrack.
windy.
That's how they made it look.
Yeah,
they made it look like you're on the track at all times. So, like, these dudes are leaving and they're drifting the exit road. It's like, what are you doing? Like, or you're drifting the parking lot that you were just on the track. Now the event's over and you're gonna slide the parking area. Why are you such an asshole?
Right.
But that's what happened when I went to the meet there last time, and it was like a S Chassis meet. And I remember we were talking to some of the guys, and we were talking about that. Like, is there any way that, like, if we have some good events here, like S Chassis and like other small events, if they're good and they're with the majority of the drifting community, can we talk to you guys about bringing drifting back?
Yeah.
And the people who own it now or whatever, kind of younger, and they were like, yeah, we can get into consideration about it, blah, blah. They seemed a little bit more open to it. There was like, we need to see how you guys are. Lo and behold, we're leaving the fucking meet, and these two clowns in 350Z start doing donuts
and it's like
in the parking lot.
Completely fucks everything up for everyone.
Because one of them, so there was a like one of those experience things going on the other side, where it was like Lamborghinis and Porsches and all like these these like hypercars that people. So the guy goes over there, one of the dudes at 350Z goes over there and starts doing donuts over there, and I want to say he ended up I don't think he crashed, but he caused one of the Lamborghinis to crash, trying to avoid hitting him.
Right.
And by the time I left, police were called. They had put that dude's 350Z on a fucking police trailer. Like, they were taking his shit. He was sitting on the ground handcuffed, and his car was going up on a police flatbed.
Yo!
Adam LZ and Ryan Turek.
No. Oh!
Okay.
Wait for it.
Okay. Ryan Turek's coming in too hot. What's he doing? Adam LZ! Adam LZ!
Turk just turked his car. Turk just turked his car.
Real bad. Real bad.
First of all, look at the handwork by LZ going into this initiation. No e-brake. All balls. Drops the wheel. That tire drop has nothing.
Oh god, yeah, that was.
Has nothing to do with Turk. Turk fucked his own game up.
Turk was very aggressive on that transition back around. Got himself in a really tough position.
LZ got out on him, dude.
Yeah.
He narrowly hits or makes contact with Adam LZ.
He's in a diesel zone there, so it doesn't matter. Like, LZ's not in fault in that section.
I want to take a look at LZ's door. There was contact. You could see the car disrupt.
So
I think
OZ
Turk
won.
just came in too hot. He
OC
tried to
won.
come in too hot on that transmit.
Because he was too, yeah, he was too far back. Yeah, look, he swings it, taps him.
Be done if you're in a much wider area of outside zone 2. So as LZ's getting into outside zone 3, he can decel there and then get back on the throttle.
That was all Turk.
Ryan
Turk did that shit to himself, dude.
Yeah, because Adam LZ went off and got right back on track. It wasn't even like he drove off track for a length of time. His tire dropped and he was right back on.
Nah,
it was more of a transitional drop.
Turk was too fast in the transition.
Oh my God! What if? Well, he took the first inner clip shallow, smacked his whole shit up. Yeah, and Turk's 2 tires off.
You see the car actually. Look at the wheel. You see LZ and the wheel get shaken up, and you were talking about that with the contact of Odie and Forsberg. But man, Turk's car, I mean, every panel on that thing took a hit. You got that front right, you got the front left, the front right.
Oh my God, dude, he fucking destroyed that roller.
Yeah, I believe the officials are just going to go look over at Adam's car, and you'll be able to see.
That's it.
Ooh. Yeah, that's it.
Turk's weekend's over, dude.
Dude, what if Adam?
Dude, if Adam LZ wins this event, I don't even know how to like.
I might buy an Adam LZ shirt. Or
I would buy a couple. Like, I would buy a few of them. That's so sick, dude.
If Adam LZ wins this event.
Yeah, no, if Adam LZ wins this, I'm all fucking for it, dude. I am. I'm all for it.
Cause who's left? If he just took out Turek.
Denofa just won.
I think Vaughn took himself out, right?
No, Taguchi took himself out. So it's Vaughn.
Oh, Taguchi. So Vaughn's left.
So it's Vaughn.
I don't know
it's Vaughn, Denofa, LZ, and then who? There's one more. I can't remember the battle. Fuck.
Tell you what, Ryan Turk's car, that thing again. There's not a straight panel on that. Look at that.
An Adam LZ. Chelsea Denofa.
Ooh,
match.
Shit! Look at that wheel.
Right?
Adam LZ Denofa match would be. The problem, the thing that Adam LZ has in his back pocket, if he ends up matching up with Denofa, is that he has just as much of a chance as Denofa losing the match as he does of winning it. So like,
right. That's what I'm saying. It's gonna be a great match, and hopefully, like they just both just drive like
they just drive
like
well.
they're at park or something. Yeah.
Just drive well, drive wild, keep it crazy, but have a good time. And,
Adam LZ, fun. I like it.
That's a new shirt.
Yep. I'm gonna keep having fun. So maybe Vaughn can sponsor him with the Fun Haver gear.
I like having Adam LZ in Pro 1. I hope he doesn't go back to Pro 2.
The judges, assuming, have put.
I wouldn't mind either way.
No, I think you need somebody like.
I think you need somebody to bring up the ranks of Pro 2. Like, there's no stars in Pro 2. There's nobody in Pro 2 that like people are like watching because this guy's in Pro 2.
But I think
Adam LZ when he was in Pro 2, when Ryan Littoral was in Pro 2, Pro 2 had a little bit more star power. So I remember watching those Pro 2 events. Like now, I just watch Pro 1. I don't watch Pro 2. When like these guys are in Pro 2 and other dudes are in Pro 2, I was watching Pro 2 as well.
Yeah. No, I'm with it. I
like
get
the
it.
Formula D guys were getting bumped back down to Pro 2 because you didn't have back. Oh god, how long ago was that when you had to have a certain amount of points to be in Pro 1?
No, now you have to get a license.
And if
right?
you didn't. Right, but back in the day, you used to have a certain amount of points to be in Pro 1. Even if you had a license, you had to keep up with the points. If you didn't have enough points after a certain amount of rounds, you got pushed back down to Pro 2.
That's true.
So you saw a lot of really good drivers because of like car issues and shit like that. They get pushed back down to Pro 2. So you'd have like Dean Kearney at like 2 Pro 2 events because his car wasn't working for the first 2 events. So now he doesn't have enough points to be considered Pro 1. So he gets bumped back down for a little bit.
I think that doesn't. I don't think there's anything wrong with that setup. I think that that's like a good way to go. My point is, I think it's important to have somebody like LZ in Pro 1 because the last dude that went from Pro 2 to Pro 1 is literal, right? So it's like,
yeah,
it needs to still be like a.
Well, Taylor Hall, that whole little
that's
class
true.
of guys right there.
Yeah, that's true. I guess that's a good point.
I mean, I see what you're saying. I see what you're getting at, and to that, like, if Ryan Literal was doing better, you wouldn't necessarily need Adam LZ to jump up to Pro 1. But Ryan Literal I just don't like him in that Z. Let him drive his 14.
I agree. I'm with you. I also don't.
Let him drive that 14.
I also, yeah, I don't. There's no way that Ryan Turk is going to be done in 5 minutes. Get out of here.
The whole right side is going to need to be worked.
They're just going to snatch everything off.
Suspension, but the front right looks like he's got something broken there. Right rear potentially as well. That might just be tire off, but off the wheel, but it's hard to tell. Both wheels are definitely bent and broken, so that'll have to be changed along with new tires.
Did he break every suspension part?
It looks like he literally broke his entire ass.
All right, so when we come back,
so I don't really know what to do with that or what his thought process is there.
With calling 5 minutes instead of just retiring it for the day.
Yeah, I don't. Well, I mean, he's obviously gonna try to get it done. He's gonna try to do the damn thing. But I think that yeah, it's just a matter of dude, you completely went off. You completely went off.
Right, so that's what I'm saying. So it's like, why not just retire it for the day? You've already went off. You're at a deficit. Unless, when Adam LZ is chasing you, barring a miracle that he goes off as well and you guys get a one more time, this is probably where you're going to end for the day. And calling 5 minutes with what your car just went through, it harkens back to the point from earlier of once you tear up suspension shit, 5 minutes ain't really enough to get her done. I don't see, I see him possibly doing more damage to his car. It's just retire. You're already in the grade 8 or whatever. Take the points and stroll. You're still in the top spot.
You have well, I think his big concern
hopefully Adam takes out Vaughn for you.
Hopefully
Adam takes out Vaughn for you.
But that's really it, right? That's his only.
Vaughn doesn't close too much on you on the points race.
That's literally his only potential outcome there, is hoping that
somebody
takes out Vaughn for him.
Yeah, because what else is he gonna do? He doesn't have any. I'm sorry, he's not getting that car back together. He's not getting that car back together whatsoever.
He's need 4 wheels, 4 wheels and tires just to start. Probably broken tie rods in the front. Whatever broken suspension parts in the back. That's not gonna do it. 5 minutes is not enough.
Yeah.
Chris Forsberg's car doesn't seem like it has 1,200 horsepower to me. I'm sorry. It just doesn't. It doesn't seem like it has that much power.
I think he feathers a lot.
Chris Forsberg versus Dye. This should be the most perfectly boring battle ever.
And so far, that's exactly what it is.
Clinically boring.
It's really interesting to me that somebody like James Dean, who's equally, actually more perfect of a driver than either one of these guys, is somehow still more entertaining to watch than either one of these guys.
Because I think James Dean's style, though he's technically as good as of a driver, his style lends different to the eye. It looks better to watch him drive than it does to watch these two guys drive.
Yeah, he initiates super aggressive, and he holds it, right? So he'll flick that motherfucker in.
That's
there.
the European. That's the Drift All Stars, the European All Stars thing.
Yeah, and like the last
They go
seconds,
for it. I like it.
the snap initiations, right? So it's like he'll ride that outside zone as long as he can, and then snap it last second real hard, bring it back around, stay on the gas, and won't fuck up, and he'll land exactly where he needs to be. So everything he's doing is technical, but it's so like visceral to watch. It's that old school style, right? It's like if Forrest Wang could drive like that, he'd still have a place in Formula 1. If you could dial the angle back a little bit and just, I miss Forrest Wang. I miss Forrest Wang a lot. I think he was.
I miss Forrest Wang, and I miss Forrest Wang, and I don't think he needs to change at all. I think the rules.
If he wants to be in
unfortunately, I think the rules unfortunately make it hard. Like they kind of cater to certain driving styles. His is not a driving style
No, he's too
that
wild.
But that's fine. Like that's what's exciting about him because if you really watch him run, like no, he's not the greatest. He's not the greatest chase driver.
No, he's
but
not.
As a lead driver, god damn it, like if you can stick with him, you're gonna have a great chase run. So that like they shouldn't penalize him for the way he drives.
No, I agree. It was a lot of like guys like Forsberg complaining that he was dropping too much speed mid entry and shit. You know what I mean? That was always the thing. Like him and Forsberg when it got into it a few times.
Yeah.
What's up, Colt?
Well, that's why he retired.
Yeah, that is why he retired.
Because Forsberg T-boned him, and they said it was his fault.
Right, they did say that it was his fault.
Forsberg T-boned him, and they said that he
dropped too much speed.
But it was like, well, that's funny too because it's very. I don't know how hard it is to literally find this video anymore, but they did have like an upper view of it.
Yeah.
Forsberg at no point in time, like he came off that bank, there was no real transition there. He came off that bank straight and he drove straight into the door.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't like he was swinging it from left to right. He swung it from left to middle.
That was at Ruindale,
gassed it in the middle. No. That was at Wall.
Oh.
That was in Jersey.
That's
Washington.
that's the one with the bump in the middle. And Forsberg gets the win. To the surprise of no one.
LZ and Turk, man. LZ could play spoiler here with our current points.
That shit. How do you even pick a winner?
That's probably for the best. Nobody wants to do it one more time out of that.
But how do you even pick a winner in a battle that boring? Like how do you even definitively say this guy won? They drove exactly
we all won because they're not doing it again.
Yeah,
that's what that. We're the winners because they're not doing it again.
Somebody just pick one. Just fucking pick one so we can move on.
Get these guys out of here. Just get these motherfuckers out of here, man.
Ain't nobody want to see this shit.
Anybody want to see this goddamn shit? Fucking 7-Eleven sponsored as. I want to know why
LZ
7-Eleven
Denofa
chose him.
getting Forsberg in the Final Four. It hurts, dude. Colt, if this is as close to your hometown, you should be there.
If your name's Colt, this sounds like it's close to your hometown.
That's rude. Colt's my dog.
I didn't say Colt was a bad guy.
Colt is the most quality human being that I know. And I don't even mean that as a shit. It's just all my other friends are really super jaded and fucking beat up inside. Colt isn't.
Once again, I didn't say Colt was a bad guy.
It's like an hour. You can get there in time for ending ceremonies. Fucking do it.
I would say, that's not middle grade. Yeah.
So Turk?
It's amazing that Matt Field is in the top 10 in point standings. He's 8th currently with the way he's been driving this season.
Like dog shit? Like hot dog shit? Yeah.
Like hot dog shit. So it's either like he's either putting it together enough to get good points or everybody else is driving like hotter dog shit.
Everybody else is driving like hotter dog shit. No, it's not even that.
Like Great Dane shit.
He's getting into top 16 consistently. That's the thing. Like Literal hasn't been in top 16. I think Literal's been in top 16 once.
We saw LZ and Jones.
So it's
I think so. Something like that.
I think it's a matter of that. I have to hit the head.
Did he make it in top 16 yesterday?
He did. Yes, he did. He made it in top 16 yesterday.
Okay, so it was yesterday.
He made it in today too. He just went off track. Remember?
Happened so quickly. All right, so Adam LZ has made it In his rookie season in Formula D, in the 6th of 8 rounds, he has taken a complete transformation. We talked about how he was driving in the beginning of the season, and he looked like he was not qualified to be there. And now he is in the Final Four at Texas, which is a big, fast, aggressive track. He's going up against some good drivers. Who's left is Von Gittin Jr., Chelsea DeNofa, and Chris Forsberg. His best bet to win would be if he took on. Sad for me to say, his best chance to win is if he took on the Mustang guys. It's just the way that they drive is more aggressive. It lends itself more to era. Which if he's paying attention, he can capitalize on. If he goes against Chris Forsberg, I just don't see him beating Chris Forsberg. He's too consistent. He's going to keep doing the same thing unless Chris is just tired and ready to get up out of here. He's bored with this event or something, or whatever it is that, these drivers get, where I just don't want to be here anymore. So whatever happens, happens. But I don't see Chelsea getting past. I mean, not Chelsea. I'm sorry, Adam LZ getting past Chris. His road would be better served if he went up against one, if not both, of the Mustang guys. Him and Chelsea are they're a little bit more evenly matched, and he could. That's a big could. The big could potentially catch Von being over aggressive. But once again, that's a big could, because Von's pretty dialed in. He's trying to. I don't know what that was, but he's trying to come back. So we got 20 seconds left, and they are putting Ryan Turk's car back together somehow. Somehow it looks like they might get it done. 9. They got to have the car back on the ground in 5 seconds, and the jack just got the car up, so I don't think that's going to. So yeah, they weren't able to get the car back on the ground in time. They got the car back on the ground, but
just not enough. We needed 5 minutes and 30 seconds.
The Formula D.
The boys worked hard.
The Formula D. God, I can't think of the words. For them, but the people who enforce the rules are saying that they didn't get it down in time. Literally, they had one more tire to get down on the ground, and the time expired as they were jacking the car up and getting that jack stand from under and dropping the car on the ground. The time expired, so they told him that they could not finish.
You got it. A lot of heart, a lot of dedication from this team, and Ryan, that was a really hard hit between you and LZ. First of all, are you okay?
Yeah, perfectly fine.
Start giving up.
Harder than I ever anticipated.
Well, he didn't get the car back on the ground in time.
So LZ's going.
Yeah.
LZ's
yeah.
in
So
Final
Ryan
Four?
Turk did. So it's crazy. So he's got 3 of the 4 tires on the ground, and they're jacking the last side up to take the jack stand from under it as the time expires. And they were like, and they put the car on the ground. They were like, no, car had to be on the ground 4 seconds ago. Sorry. So yeah, Adam LZ is going to the Final Four. So I was just talking to the people about this. Adam LZ is in the Final Four with Chris Forsberg, Von Gittin, and Chelsea DeNofa. If he is going to win this event, I think that Adam LZ's best bet is to go up against one of, if not both, of the Mustang guys. I think Chris Forsberg is just too consistent. He's going to do what he's supposed to do.
He's up against DeNofa.
I think DeNofa gives him the best chance to move forward.
And
if he can catch Von,
yeah.
If he can catch Von being over aggressive and slipping, which is a big if. Sometimes Von gets excited, but it's a big if. But I think that would be his best bet. I think if he goes up against Chris, like Yeah, but it's very rare.
It is
But I
rare
think
compared.
if
Yeah,
he
it's
goes
super
up
rare.
against Chris, you're banking on something a little bit even more rare with Chris just fucking up for no reason.
The likelihood of Forsberg took a shit yesterday though. At the end, at the very end, he fucked up his chase run. That's what put him.
Well, I did say that. I said unless Chris is like ready to get up out of here or something, because I feel like he goes out like in the final four and shit. And it's the weirdest little mistakes. It's just like he has those moments where he's like, all right, I've been here all day. I got enough points. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
he
just
feel
gonna
like
get up out of here.
he's just like over it. He just doesn't want to do it anymore. He's even boring to him, and he doesn't want to do it anymore. He has bored himself.
When I drive,
to death.
I don't excite myself.
Right, so I'm just gonna.
Right.
Yeah, I just want to go home, guys.
Right.
I just divorced my old lady. I got a new girlfriend. Like, I want to go home.
Let's beat traffic.
Yeah, exactly.
Pack it up and get up out of here real quick. I'm gonna straighten out. I'm not gonna crash the car. I'm gonna straighten out real quick. We're gonna take this L and we're gonna get up out of here. All right, guys. Sound good? Let's go.
Wait, it's Denofa. I read this completely wrong. So it's Denofa versus Git, which means he got Forsberg. It means he got Forsberg.
Right.
I can't read a grid. Biggest revelation from this whole live stream is that I can't read a grid.
Is that you don't know how to read a grid? Yeah. That's probably one of the things I do look at on these, and it just makes sense. It's like,
yeah,
oh, okay.
That's the only,
yeah,
right. The only, I can discern through all the other bullshit in the sport, but the grid, fuck, that's where I get caught up.
Chelsea Denofa, Vaughn getting Jr. This was a treat, like Ryan said, that we wanted to see in Seattle, the battle in Seattle. And Vaughn was
the battle in Seattle. I really hope that YouTube saves this stream as a recording, because I didn't record it on my end. I only recorded the audio. So
let's see what we got.
we're gonna learn together on that one.
Awesome.
Awesome. It's cool. We have another one to do. This is fun though. I enjoy this. This is cool content. This is cool to do.
And here we go.
Gives me a good
reason.
I'm
having a good time.
Yeah, it gives me a good reason to watch this, and then obviously interacting with people is cool. And as we grow it, it'll be even more fun. So that's tight. We could do this shit for smaller events too.
That's what I was thinking too. Like we can, like to some extent, like just do like just commentary on like any events that we really want to.
Yeah, I think
like it doesn't have to necessarily be Formula D. Like we could. All right, Dave. Did you watch this event? Did you watch that Drift Masters? All right, yeah. Let's do one on
fucking took
like,
shit.
Let's do that. Had to. You take a shit or you had to take one for the boss.
Oh no.
Here we go. Send it.
You'll see.
Chelsea initiated too early.
Then he straightens out, and then he straightens out again.
And he's just driving straight.
Yeah, and then he fucking.
And then he
finally gets it together
at the end.
Yeah.
And this time he kind of does the same thing. Look, he gets it real early. He has to pull
okay, so
close to an incomplete because it's almost basically an opposite drift. Vaughn has a struggle from inside clip 1 to outside zone 2, though he does fill it and slightly drops a tire. But now we finally get to see what we wanted to see, this door-to-door action between these two guys. That right there, I think.
Oh God, yeah.
Hey, how many cancellations do you think to the School of Drift has Chelsea gotten this season? Yeah, we decided we're gonna go to Driftfish instead.
You know what? yeah. So you know what?
No, Chelsea's the shit. Chelsea's the shit. He just.
I actually, and I'm sure I don't know if he watches, but he'll correct me if I'm misspeaking. My buddy Kelly is an instructor up there
at the
School of Drift, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm pissed off about it that he went up there because he was supposed to be down here helping me
get the car together.
In my car, but
that's a great opportunity. Though.
Kelly's an amazing driver, though. Too,
yeah.
like he's without telling too much about what he is or what he does, without him here to clarify, he used to work for Toyota. And his whole job was like he would try to destroy the car pretty much. Like he was a test driver.
Okay.
He's like, I try to drive them to the point where they can't. Yeah, like
That's a good
Like
jump.
he goes,
yeah,
this
that's a
new
cool
like Lexus, like LFA or whatever. He goes, yeah, I got to drive it to like try to drive it past what it's capable of. And I was like, that seems kind of dangerous. And he goes, yeah, I've had to try to like flip trucks and shit like that. They're like, can you go see if you can flip this truck? And he goes,
I guess.
Okay. Yeah.
If I must.
I mean, he told me they have like that whole gimbal on the side where if it does roll, it catches itself and all that.
Yeah, it's got the
and he goes, but yeah, that's
shit.
my job is to like unsettle the cars, like to see like how much you got to do to them.
That all came about after the
not
whole. Remember when like the Explorers were rolling because of the Firestone tires? That's when they really got serious about the rollover.
When the goddamn Firestone tires.
I mean, that's what.
Because the goddamn Explorer was. Nah, it's because the fucking Explorer was taller than it was wide.
That's true. Oh my
god,
dude! Look at
your mom had
Denofa.
That Explorer, dude. That shit was so sketchy.
Watch Denofa's initiation in this fucking round. Oh my god. This motherfucker.
What?
It gets worse, dude.
Oh god.
He just cannot get it together, dude.
Vaughn's gonna talk to him in the trailer.
He's about to lose his ride after this season.
If
he's like, we're putting Adam LZ
like
in the. Yeah, we're gonna put LZ in the purple and gold car.
Or one of the other dudes that drive a Mustang.
Oh, pull him off the Shelby team? Yeah. Oh, just way too much luck.
Yeah.
Right off the bat, way too much luck. Why did you? Oh, and he stays in it because he knows that if he lets off, he gets a penalty. So he hopes that he can just.
Like why?
Because he's hoping that he can bring it around and just power the car straight. I guess. I don't know what the thought process there is. He came out too hot. Look at that.
I mean, he would have been fine if he didn't do that into the last outer zone. Like if he would have pulled it under a little bit of control for that
he had
last
the gap
transition
too.
where
That's
he just
the
completely.
Thing. Look at
yeah,
this. He's got.
So
I mean,
it's like,
Vaughn's
bro, like you
him.
should have just.
He just went in way too hot. That was all handbrake.
So even his initiation. Yeah, initiation is fine. I mean, it's not the best, but yeah, he's pulling gap. He's getting to the outer zones. He's hitting his clips. But that last one, he just. I said, what are you doing?
Yeah, you can even look at his initiation. Like, he stays in it so long, coming out of that third or second outer clip, right? He should have let off and chucked it sideways and just kind of let it scrub speed off throttle a little bit.
He should have let it wash a little bit longer.
Yeah. As opposed to powering, 2/3 of the way towards that outer clip, then transitioning, staying on power the second that he transitioned, and then just over rotating.
Right.
It's just way too hot. And that's. Dude, every single time that he fucks up, it's that kind of situation.
Jesus, Formula D, you guys made me spend way more on these Bud Lights than I should have.
Yeah, no OMTs. No, yeah, you bought a 30 rack. I bought a 6-pack.
Dude, because I remember back in the day, like we would go through a lot of them. Like certain events, dude. The one more times were like
Irwindale. The one
everybody's
more
run was Vegas. The one more times were wild too.
Yeah, well, because
remember that one we watched an event in Vegas and it was like one more time. I think we stopped drinking. Yeah, we stopped. We were just like,
top
we
32
can't
took
do this
4
anymore.
hours. It took 4 hours for top 32. All right, here we go.
Oh man. LZ and Forsberg.
He's trying.
If LZ wins this, I'll pound this beer.
Yo, LZ's putting on a good show right now.
He is. Yeah, that initiation's all clutch kick.
Yeah, I like that shit. I like the way that kid drives.
Oh, he's laying down a run.
Yeah.
He is laying down a run.
I like the way Adam LZ drives a lot. Look at this. Manji, clutch kick, bang the fuck out of it. Real nice.
It's outside zone 3. Adam just takes out that cone.
All right, let's see how Chris does in the shade.
Chris does a great job in this chase.
Forsberg trying to stay on the line. Pulling a little bit of distance out there towards the end. Good start by both drivers. And
he didn't really get close until the last zone, though.
No, but LZ has to murder this chase run to even have a chance.
Honestly, I think as long as LZ doesn't fuck up this chase run, this could be a one more time.
That'd be his second one more time against Forsberg in 2 days.
Because Adam LZ has a very, very good lead run,
and
Chris Forsberg has a decent chase run. It's not amazing. He's not as close as he could have been, but it's very smooth.
Get on him now. This is where Adam LZ fucks up against Forsberg. He gives him too much rope. Straightened out. Yeah, see. He did this same shit yesterday. He gives him too much of a lead, dude. There you go.
Yeah, because he just did it. I'm watching the takeoff, and he just did it where he let.
There's a car link.
He took off first. Well, he takes off first as the chase driver because you can get the jump, but he takes off and then he looks to see where Chris is. It's like, no, dude, stay on the fucking gas. That's a one more time.
I think that's a one more time.
That's a one more time. Because, I mean, if they're going to say Adam LZ wasn't as close as Chris, you can go back and like, well, Chris wasn't super close either. Like, we're talking about like a couple of inches at this point, and they're running the exact same line. Like, he's following Chris the way that Chris followed him.
Nah, he's an OZ too. You're tripping, Sage. Get out of here.
That's a one more time.
I think that should be a one more time. I can't see any.
If I don't taste this Bud Light,
I'm gonna be pissed.
If I don't taste this Bud Light, then Formula D
has failed me.
Goes to the finals against Gittin. Here we go. Take a look at the BC Racing custom coilover side-by-side instant replay. BC Racing, the official suspension of Formula Drift.
Well, we just saw Forsberg in the lead. Here he is on the left in the chase.
He wasn't much closer, dude. They're going to get him for this.
No, not at all.
They're going to get him for that.
Not at all.
Nah, they're going to get him for this. They're going to give it to Forsberg. Which is fucking bullshit.
Why? What part are you saying they're going to give it to him?
He was closer going into outside zone 3 and outside zone 4.
Remember, they went one more time yesterday. We found out later on that Forsberg was having problems with his NOS. He was down on power this time.
Not the case.
Looked pretty. Both drivers looked like they had
Yeah, but that should be a one more time.
I agree. I think it should be a one more time. But I can also see that that 5% in which they give it to Forsberg, where they always give it to Forsberg in this situation. I think
Does Adam LZ have a suburb?
No, it's carbon, bro.
But is it see-through?
Wait. Oh shit, dog! It's a one more time.
Yes.
Adam LZ.
One more timers.
All right, I gotta go do the thing. I gotta go grab one.
Come on, dude. What are you doing here? I hope that you, who are participating along, are not like my co-host Valoria here, and have your beers ready near you, like mine. All right, there, got all my liquor ready, waiting right there.
In the chase position, which gave him a better run at chase. And in the lead position, I felt that LZ had a good initiation, did well on 1, went deeper on zone 2, and had a nicer line around zone 4 than Chris did in his lead. But Brian just felt that Chris.
So if Adam LZ wins this event, people.
All right, so Chris already back to his pitch. You can see no man's land over there because only 4 teams.
I'm shocked.
Uno mas.
I'm shocked.
I'm stoked. I'm stoked. I can't believe the judges were actually fair.
I can't.
And didn't come with some nonsense.
Like
you said, like, oh, they're gonna no. How you said they're gonna give him they're gonna ding him for zone 3 and 4.
Yeah.
When I watched the replay, I was like, yep, that's what they're gonna try to do. If they're gonna find somewhere, that's what they're gonna say.
They're gonna say it's zone 3 and 4. Yep. And you can see it.
But they
They didn't do it. They gave it to him, and he fucking earned it. And I'm fucking stoked that he got there. Here we go, boy. You ready for this shit?
No.
So again, use code FD2020 for $30 off your Pedal Commander unit. Texas Motor Speedway playing host to round 5 and 6 of the Pro Championship, and Pro 2 there on. Congratulations to our winners. Jonathan Hurst, you got Blake Olson.
Good lordy.
And then rounding out the top 3, Derek Madison, and then yesterday, Ryan Turk will not go back to back.
Oh, Taco Bell.
Take it to the top, he's already
I had Adalberto's. I had a fucking chorizo breakfast burrito.
Ooh, Jesus.
It was good though.
Soy chorizo or like real chorizo?
Like real. The soy would have been worse.
God, yeah, soy chorizo. Joke.
Yo. Okay. Yes, but there's a pizza joint up here. Blaze Pizza. It's like a chain. They might have one down there. I don't know. I'll get a.
There's a ton of Blaze pizzas.
I don't know. I know it's a chain.
James owns Blaze Pizza.
Does he really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So anyway, they have a soy chorizo, and I'll do soy chorizo and pineapple on a cauliflower pizza. It slaps. I know it. I understand your face and the face that you're making right now, and I understand what position it's coming from, but just try it one time. Change your life.
Well, I've gotten to the point where I make my own pizza, so.
Oh.
And he was on Thrawn. There was so much smoke, and I did not want to leave any situation in the judge's hands, so I just hammered down. I knew I had track left, and I just went through the smoke. And when it cleared, I was good. I was like, yes. And it was just one of those things. I heard, Cole Trickle's crew chief in my ear saying, go through the smoke. You can do it. So, yeah, I'm pumped. It's like I said, Chelsea and I always bang doors, and it's always an aggressive battle. And frankly, I wish it was a little more of a battle for the fans, give them what they wanted. But right now, given the points,
Vaughn's talking lightweight shit about Chelsea.
Hard into it this year. I'll take whatever I can get. So I'm pumped.
Vaughn Gittin Jr. is talking. Team owner. Oh. Jamal.
All for tuning in.
Fuck.
Much love. What's up, Abby? Love you, Gunner. And yeah, cheers. We'll see you guys on the box tonight.
I love the confidence. I love the attitude. Officially, I can tell you that you are leading the championship points. So how do you keep that momentum moving forward?
Yeah, that's one of those things. Like, that's great. I mean, that's a great number right now, but it doesn't matter till the last day at Irwindale. So I'm just going to keep
having some technical difficulties. We lost Jamal for a second.
I don't think about the championship at all. I do it one battle at a time, and that's what's been being successful for me this year, and I'm going to keep doing that. So, but sure, it feels good to be leading the championship.
Vaughn, thank you so much. Wow, guys.
Woo! Well, there it is. Signature Vaughn Gittin Jr. send-off. As we want to know who your favorite driver and vehicle is, go to our YouTube live stream page, and right there above the chat, you'll see the yellow button, and you can click and let us know who your favorite.
There we go.
Yo.
You're back.
All right.
We're good.
Yep.
We good. We good.
So yeah, so I was just telling the people, but probably just telling myself.
You were just telling yourself because nobody could hear you.
Yeah, I was just telling myself, yeah. That Vaughn will be going against either Adam or Chris.
That is
Adam LZ might be going to the finals.
Adam LZ is probably one of my favorite cars. I also like Chris Forrest.
That's so sick. Wait, let me see if I cheated again. I'm trying to see if I pulled a Matt Field on this. I did pull a Matt Field on the Spirit. I'm lying. I was.
The stance on it, everything. He definitely has one of the best looking cars. Here we go.
I think that's great. I think that's great. I think that. I hope that LZ pulls this through.
You want to see him win the event?
I at least wanted to see him get to the final. And I think an Adam LZ Vaughn Gittin Jr. battle would be incredibly entertaining.
Yeah.
I just really like the way Adam
that's what
drives.
Vaughn was just saying, that he wished him and Chelsea's battle was a little bit better.
That's what I'm saying. He was talking. You didn't hear me because you were disconnected, but he was lightweight talking shit about Chelsea. That was like team owner level shit talking.
Yeah. That's what I was saying earlier. Like, the boss man's gonna catch him in the trailer. Like, hey, bro, what are you doing out there? Like, we got a chance to,
Come on, Adam. Come on. Forsberg's gonna be on his ass. Oh,
Let's see. Let's see.
Forsberg almost got ahead of him. Nah, that
Let's see.
was the most clinical I've ever
Okay.
seen Chris Forsberg drive.
Okay.
Ryan, I thought going into that zone 3 through the power alley, Chris got very close and made me a little bit nervous there.
Did a great job in the chase, and of course, you need a good lead to do that.
That was good.
That was a good battle. Adam LZ's his lead run was solid, but my concern is he won't be able to chase to the level that Forsberg can.
Yeah, so I think Forsberg definitely got a little bit, kind of the same chase he did before. He was just tighter, more consistently tight.
Well, he knew.
Like you said, I don't know if Adam would be able to I
don't think Adam has it in.
Because Adam would have to tighten up to the level that Chris was at in the last round for them to even consider doing it one more time again.
He needs to basically go into this next run like it's the last round in Formula Drift for the rest of his life, and just drive the absolute dick out of that car. And if he fucking wrecks it, he wrecks it. You know what I mean? That's I think what you're seeing in Adam LZ is him pushing himself to the pro limit. I think he has the skills necessary to do it. I just don't think that he knows that yet. It's a lot faster.
I think he's in the. I think he's hit that zone today.
Yeah, he's definitely
everything's just right. He's getting the right amount of competition from each driver at the right time. Why is Ryan Turk back at the left?
What just happened? What you're gonna see some shit right now.
Wow, Adam, what are you doing?
Watch this shit.
Oh, whoa!
Yeah.
Holy cow, Ryan, that was insane.
Do you need to see that again?
Yes, please. Can you please show me the epicness that just unfolded?
Adam LZ hits Chris Forsberg and he explodes. Forsberg in the lead. Nice flick there.
Look like he's going back to the future.
They both drop tire.
Here's the contact. LZ straightens out after the contact. That's going to be an incomplete there. And then we see that.
But wait, here's my question.
LZ going in too hot on this section of the course in that decel area. This is where he taps Chris. Chris ignites.
Oh no, never mind.
And LZ not able to hang on to it. Unbelievable.
Wow, Flambe Forsberg here.
Okay. No, my question initially was going to be if Forsberg dropped tire, why isn't that on Forsberg? But
the Falcon tires S15, that same thing happened at Irwindale years ago. And this happens
because one could argue that Forsberg dropped a fuckload of speed dropping tire.
I can't believe Chris Forsberg's back tire was on fire. Right.
But it's Forsberg.
Wow, that was bonkers.
But props to Adam.
What's the dude? Hellrider?
Wow.
Ghost
the guy
Rider.
who rides a motorcycle with the flaming skull and the chain and shit.
Ghost Rider?
I have to tell you, I really think, no matter the outcome.
Yeah, I think that my
Ghost
biggest thing.
Rider. Yeah.
Oh, your internet's fucking up a little bit. I said Ghost Rider 17 times, and you just heard it. It's all good.
But you leave yourself open
Up a little bit.
Yeah, there it goes. Let's clean it up. Obviously, this is going to Forsberg. Surprise of no one.
Yeah.
Again, props to Adam though. I think for trying.
I'm excited to see him at Irwindale now.
I don't want him to
Adam
go back
might
to.
be.
Yeah, I don't want him to go back to Pro 2. He will.
Oh.
He will go backwards.
Well,
from
next
here.
year. I don't think so. If next year, okay, so say base case scenario, COVID and everything goes away or whatever,
Right.
and then next year, as far as we're concerned, Formula D schedule is back to normal. I think Adam, with having this experience, with having this tight, quick experience and Pro 1, could go back down to Pro 2, retool his whole little setup, and just really just get it dialed in. Make a killing at Pro 2. Just 1 or 2 seasons of just dominance at Pro 2 to just really get your shit together. and then jump back up into Pro 1. Like, all right, I've been here before. I mean, James Dean did the same thing. James Dean was a Falcon driver years ago. Couldn't really figure it out. Left, went back to Europe, became a monster, and then
yeah,
and then
I know what you mean. Yeah, Peter Wycheck. I know what you're saying. I get what you're saying. I just think that
I'm just saying for the longevity of his career, I think that'd be a better move for Adam LZ. I see what you're saying. For the excitement of the overall sport, having him in Pro 1 right now is better.
Yeah. And I think a
true,
lot of
because
what happens,
he's probably one of the most exciting drivers in Pro 1 right now.
I think a lot of what will happen to Adam LZ's career is what kind of sponsorship attention he gains from this season. Because he's got Njuku and he's got all that, and obviously he's like funding a lot of his own shit. But I think that if he picks up a bigger tire sponsor, or Achilles throws more money at him, or he picks up literally fucking anybody, right? We're like, hey,
somebody to eat up the cost of like the year for him a little bit.
Yeah, the transportation costs, right? That's the biggest thing that people don't realize. It's like getting this whole setup across country for 8 events is a lot. That's expensive, and it's
oh god, yeah.
So,
I remember I was reading up on it one year. And this was years ago that I read up on this, but they were talking about it, and the Formula D driver was saying on the low end, and it might have been Kyle Mohan who was saying it. He goes, yeah, if nothing goes wrong, everything goes according to plan for every event, the whole year, the low end to run a full Formula D season is like $70,000.
Jesus. Just in transportation costs.
Just everything. He was like, just tires, to pay my team. Yeah, tires, to pay the team, to get to here to there, transportation, gas, everything. Because he was like, like one of the things he was saying, he goes, you can't just like, a lot of us lose time and money in transportation because you can't just drive from one state to the next. He goes, sometimes you can't take these trailers across certain spots. So like, he goes, he said he was going to Texas or something, and he was driving through Arizona or whatever, and they told him like halfway through, they go, oh, you can't take your trailer down this road to enter Texas. You got to enter Texas on that road over there. He goes, how do I get there? You got to go back to where they meet, halfway in Arizona somewhere. He goes, there's nothing you can do about that shit. Yeah. I've heard another driver say the same thing, but he was like, yeah, when nobody was looking, I just took it. Like,
see, this is
why I knew I wasn't supposed to take that road, but I just took off.
This is why I want a $10,000 drift car. Right? I want a $10,000 car that I can put on a flatbed trailer and just take to grassroots events and little stuff, track days, whatever, and just go have fun. And if I put it in a wall and break it in half, then I load what I have left on the trailer and I take it home and I take the parts off of it that I can save and buy another $2,000 roller and put it back together. That's it.
Yeah. That's why I have the Mustang.
Pro level drift cars are sick, right? Pro 2 level drift cars are fucking sick. They're sick. A Pro 2 level drift car these days is, I think, what most of us who love the sport and like to drift or whatever would love to have, right? Rear mounted radiator setups and surge tanks and fucking 3-level fuel systems and Haltech ECUs with digital dashes and full, you know what I mean, FD spec cages with $3,000 in seats and all this shit. Even a lot of those Pro 2 guys are running dog boxes now, right? They're running the NASCAR 4 speeds, which aren't super expensive.
Yeah, everybody's running dog. Yeah, they're not expensive at all.
It's like a $2,000 transmission. Like, it's nothing super fucking crazy. But I want to run something like, and I know you hate this shit, but I want a turbo K-swap BMW ZF transmission something because it's cheap. That drivetrain's cheap. Sorry, it's a fucking.
I mean, no, I don't hate it.
It's an $800 engine, right? So it's a $2,000 engine that'll make 500 horsepower, which is way more than I need. The transmission.
You're talking about the Honda motor, right?
Yeah, the turbo. Yeah, K24 with a K20 head and a turbo. It's 500 horsepower on stock turbos, right? So, which is more than I need. I really only need 300, right? I'd probably
Exactly.
tune it to 5 and run it at 3, and then if I ever felt like the car was getting slow, then I could crank it up and have some headroom, right? But those
There you
BMW
go.
ZF transmissions are cheaper than CD009s at this point, and they're smaller, so they fit in like as chassis better because the CD009s are pretty. You always have to hammer out the transmission tunnels, right?
Yeah, you
Smaller,
can't
lighter.
just slide it up in there.
Yeah, they're smaller, they're lighter, they're cheaper. Then obviously you just put a fucking diff in it, right? Custom drive shaft, the typical shit. But there's so many options for like angle kits and all this other shit. You can build a $10,000 car. It's just a matter of I can't build a $10,000. You can't do it with a 240 anymore.
I have no idea what you're saying.
I said you can't do it with a 240 anymore. You can't build a 10. What do you mean, huh? Can you hear me?
You can't build a 10,000 car. Your shit was going in and out.
Oh, you can't build a $10,000 car out of a 240 anymore, just because you can't get a 240.
No, because the 240 is damn near right.
Yeah.
The 240 is gonna be damn near like 60% of the 10Gs. No, I totally agree with you, and that was my original plan for the Black Mustang build, was to build this car for under 10 grand, document building this car for under 10 grand. I just never got around to like it. I mean, I filmed a lot of it, but I just haven't edited anything. I just I don't know, like it's not really I'd rather do different content than I feel like everybody does like, oh, look at my build. Like I might condense it all into like a building my Mustang in 10 minutes build, but I don't want to do instructional videos and shit.
No. Yeah, I don't think instructional videos are the way to go. I think that but I do think that documenting the build is good content. Like we've talked about this a lot in the podcast of like content we want to do in the future. And one of the dudes who's no longer on the podcast is dude John. He has a 65 Mustang that he's building as a track car, like a full on like time.
Yeah. I remember him talking about that. Yeah.
So like
that's dope as fuck.
That
like,
is cool.
That's something that you guys should definitely.
We're still gonna
film.
Yeah, we're still gonna put the car in different content for the YouTube channel. It's just he's just not a part of the podcast at this point.
Okay.
Which is cool. You know what I mean? It's all good. I was like, yeah, that's great content. We should definitely record that content. I want to start. I've done a little bit of work in this pseudo off season because of COVID on the STI. A lot of it was prior to starting the podcast. So like I did the whole suspension on the car. So it's got coilovers, it's got rear load control arms, it's got a roll center adjuster kit. It's got, I put Michelin's on it, got it professionally aligned. Like I did a lot of good shit to the car, but it was all prior to having the channel. So on it, obviously I missed out on all that content. And the only thing I can do now is, hey, this is what's done to my car, which who really gives a fuck about a 19 STI and what you have done to it? Like, nobody. If you're not doing it right now, they can watch it.
No, I honestly, I think that's a little bit more because I feel like everybody, especially like in the drift channels and things like that, I feel like everybody's doing like this is like how I built my car kind of channel. It's like, it's not like we're really building anything that nobody else knows about. Like, especially if you're doing especially if your page, like if you have a 240, an S chassis, and you're doing like, this is how I built my 240 page.
Everybody's seen it before. Yeah.
Right. Everybody's seen it before. Like, that's why I don't feel bad. Like, I have the content for the Mustang, but it's so simple that it's like, I don't feel bad. Like, if I just posted up like a 10-minute build and somebody's like, yo, what did you do about this? It's so easy. I can just DM you real quick, like, oh, you need to do this, or like these parts call these people. Like it's very Mustang building is very, very simple.
And it's almost like, is it worth? It's a lot of content creation is deciding if, like, is the content I'm putting out good enough, right? Because the last thing you want to do is
right.
Oh shit!
Put out bullshit.
Well, I'm watching Denofa and LZ right now, and I want to see how this goes. Yo, if LZ podiums right now, I'm gonna be fucking juiced. Holy shit.
a cloud of smoke there off in the distance, Ryan. Also, the sun's going to play a big role there as it shines on that smoke.
Let me know when you're done watching this run, because
pretty well here.
It hasn't even started.
Okay.
He got a good jump out of the gate. Denofa this time.
Oh, I love the way LZ drives, dude. Fuck.
Behind Adam, makes a little bit of adjustment in angle there. LZ unfortunately comes outside
started.
a little bit early, so this time a little bit lackluster.
Third place battle. Shut up, Ryan DeAnda, Jared DeAnda.
And he falls back because of that, and then he's left playing catch up here. Lower line, little bit.
He seemed a little shallow on that.
He's shower on OZ too.
Oh,
but Denofa falls back.
Oh, okay, okay.
Outside zone 2. Last time against Chris, he did a much better job.
He Denofa it again.
So Adam LZ just has to have a solid run. He just needs to have a solid chase.
Yeah, he just needs to not let Denofa run away with him, and he'll be fine.
Yeah, because Denofa did not have a great chase run.
And Denofa has also not been doing great in OZ2. So he's becoming shallow of that second outside zone this whole week.
Oh, and he went 2 tires off. It looked like he went 2 tires off too.
They're saying something.
Looks like maybe ripping off his back bumper.
They're saying he dropped a tire. I think he dropped 2.
I think he dropped 2, but it's 3 before they call it incomplete, right?
Keeping it on.
Oh, now it's 3.
I think I might be wrong.
Looks like we are sending. Here we go. Who's going to get third place?
All right, they're running.
On
my end, it's starting right now.
Sit down. No, they're running.
Oh, Chelsea's fucking pissed.
Oh, excuse me.
Oh my God!
A little bit, like a lot more delayed than yours, because like you're having reactions and they're still at the start-finish line.
You'll see. You'll see
on my stream.
This is a legit call.
Put your hands down.
This is a call.
You know, dude, this you sitting like this is kind of a spoiler too.
But you don't know who's doing what though. That's great.
I know, but it's just letting me know like something. I gotta pay attention to something now.
Oh fuck! Never mind. Watching this angle.
Okay, Chelsea with the big flick again. Chelsea looks shallow. Oh! Oh!
LZ that time does fill the outside zone with Denofa, but Denofa does a great job there maintaining angle.
Do we think Adam LZ might have the slight advantage, if not a one more timer?
I feel like this is at least an OMG.
LZ surges forward, good angle there.
Yeah.
Keeps the smoke cloud on.
I'm thinking a one more time, but I'm leaning towards Adam.
I'm leaning towards Adam as well, but I think that's because my heart's in it. If I'm being objective, I feel like you can't. I don't think you can just hand this win to Denofa.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, being objective, I'd want to say one more time because I think both of them made some mistakes in their chase run that I'd like to see cleaned up. It's like if I'm going to judge you, I'd rather you both have good, clean, solid chase and lead runs that I can judge from.
And they both went shallow into OZ2 on
if I got to make a choice, right? So if I got to make a choice, I'm gonna go with Adam because Adam didn't drop tires.
Adam did not drop tires. That's a good point.
And he stayed close. He didn't drop tires.
Do you understand?
Why are they parked so close to each other?
That's Adam LZ's fault.
Honestly, that's what I expected because these guys have driven with each other down there in Florida. Adam, yep.
They park like real close to each other.
Yeah, well, you got to remember he's left-hand drive, so they can actually right-hand drive, left-hand drive. They can actually.
I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to talk to you. Sit your ass over there.
You understand how much shit Denofa's about to catch if Adam LZ took this full out for a podium?
I'd have to. You know what? Watching this side by side, I gotta say Adam LZ won this battle.
So here we go.
He's a good driver, dude.
He is. He's a good driver.
He's like in the shit right now. You know what I mean? I want you to think about how long it took Jeff Jones to get here. And think about how fast
Denofa dropping some tires. This is, definitely.
Jeff Jones has been in Pro 1 for what, 4 seasons now? And just got his first Final Four. This is Denofa's first season.
3 or 4 seasons.
And
yeah.
he got into the Final Four. This is 6th round.
Right.
What are the fans saying online? Who's moving on? Who's getting third place?
No way.
Oh, wow, look at that. Yule says LZ. Lantain says one more time, and Brian Eggert says
OMT.
one more time, we're going at it again. So Ryan Lantain,
OMT.
you were the last to actually
Oh, it's one of us. All right, here we go then. Dude, you gotta go back to the fucking fridge.
That's the thing, and it's. Oh, what did I do? I didn't mean to do that.
Stop being a rookie. Stop being a rookie. Act like we talked about this earlier.
I'm getting to the point where I have to sneak around my wife.
He drinking too much.
So here, let me do this. I'll meet you in the middle. I'll pound the rest of this 9% beer, which is about 3/4 of the way full. So let's do that. We'll be Is that fair? Yeah.
Fair enough, my friend.
Ayo.
Proximity by cheating, and it'll make a big difference going through the rest of the course. And they both kind of made a mistake at that inside clip 1 area, and then you go over to Chelsea making his mistake outside zone 3, and Adam LZ making his mistake at outside zone 2.
Are you still drinking tequila while you do this?
To say in either direction.
Yeah.
It came down to the chases being so similar as well in terms of their mistakes.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was so close with going with Adam LZ, but
Tequila. Dun, 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 dun.
Inside clip 1 getting center punched by his front bumper.
To the 2 people who have been watching this entire time, I appreciate the fuck out of you.
We've had 2 people watching us this entire time.
We were up to 3 at one point.
One more time battle. Will we get a verdict? We'll find out.
Okay.
That's really impressive, honestly. For the
To
first
you
time
2
we're doing
people. Yeah, that's very. Yeah. That's. If we make any kind of merch for this show,
You're getting that shit for
please
free.
leave your name in the comment. Yeah, you're getting this shit for free. First 2 T-shirts, beanies, whatever, stickers, whatever the fuck you're getting.
Shoot your emails. Shoot me your emails on my Instagram. Night.sti. We'll get you hooked up. We're actually looking at making a run of stickers. So, you know who's super?
Yeah, hey, you gotta send me some stickers. I'm putting stickers for the Mustang, but I'm only putting certain shit on there.
Yeah. You know who Super Wow Factory is?
ECU produces standalone engine management.
Excuse me?
Do you know who Super Wow Factory is?
I've heard of them.
Yeah, so if you look them up on Instagram, they do custom stickers for a lot of these like smaller drift teams, and they do real fucking legit shit.
Oh yeah. I follow them. That's why I've heard them.
Yeah, that's who we're talking to have a sticker right now. So we're just trying to finalize how we want it to look. Yeah, we're gonna do some radio quality, dude. You know, do some nice shit. I don't want to put out some bullshit. So
yeah.
All right, I'm gonna hit the head during the commercial break.
I gotta come up with I'm gonna come up with an idea for the clutch companion sticker. Is that what we're gonna call this?
Clutch kick
companion.
Clutch kick.
Clutch kick.
It's RevMatch for the main pod. Clutch kick just made sense. Right. You know, it just made sense. I'll be right back.
Right. Watching these Formula D commercials. I don't watch a lot of TV, so I don't see a lot of commercials.
Whether they're in the shop or in the driveway.
If you've watched Formula D, how long you've been into it? What got you into it? You've been to any events? You drive, grassroots. What do you drive? Hit us up. Hit me up. If you don't want to hit up the podcast, you hit me up at Mustang_Mall, MUSTANG_MAL. Just talk cars, talk drip. It's all good. We don't have to be on the podcast for that.
Honestly, I think the Achilles 123S is the.
I'm watching the commercial for the new Supras. You want to talk about the new Supras? We can do that. I got a buddy with one. Give him shit all the time about it. So I'm sure we could call from his house and have a good convo on that. I didn't finish my beer. Don't tell Valoria. He'll find out when he edits this, but
having a tire that's consistent all the way through from when it's cold to when it's roasting hot is very important.
So far, today's round 6, top 16, which we've gone live for today. You've had 3. One more time. 3. One more time. And they're gone. Hopefully.
Is that a 3-pack of tall
Hopefully
boys?
we don't go. No, I'm saying for today's Formula D, we have gone through 3 one more time.
We have gone through 3 one more times.
Yeah. Now the tequila and the Bud Light are starting to catch up.
I can't imagine how that would be a thing. I can't imagine how you were the one too. You were the one who was like, "Don't be taking shots and shit for one more time." Out here drinking Casadores the whole time, dude. Oh fuck, so good. Bro, do you remember when we used to
with Applebee's?
Not. Oh, I was just talking just about that the other day. No, do you remember fucking getting 2 large Little Caesars pizzas, like 4 40s and Mickey's, and a 12-pack of Bud Light, and just like
and an 1/8 of weed,
and just getting absolutely blasted in my house fucking watching this shit. Just be completely useless by like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, dude.
I told one of my homies about that the other day, and he goes, "Man," he goes, "you and your homie make being broke seem really, really fun."
It was really,
I was like,
really
dude,
fun.
I go, dude, we were broke. I was like, we couldn't afford to go anywhere, so like, I would drive to his house. His mom would give us like gift cards. We would go to IHOP and Applebee's, get food, get drunk at Applebee's. We would I would bring an 1/8. He would pick up 1/8 from his guy. We would sit there and smoke. And I was like, and they was like, what'd you do? I was like, we would just watch TV and like nothing. Like we would watch Top Gear. This is the funnest part. We would watch Top Gear and then try to beat the Top Gear times on Forza.
Fuck yeah, dude. That was the shit. That's OG, like, lower middle class LA kid upbringing right there, dude. Like, that's exactly what that is. It's like, we got some money, but it ain't a whole lot of money.
It ain't a whole lot of money. It's enough, because I told him, I was like, we used to get 40s. And he goes, why would you get 40s? And I go, well, we would buy really good weed, and we would get like the best 40s we could find. Like, we wouldn't get we weren't getting like Mad Dog 2020 or shit like that. Like no 211s. We were getting Mickey's or the Corona Tall Boys or something like that. I was like, we were drinking decent 40s. And I go, but we had good weed. We would get food, and if we got liquor, we would get good liquor. But
you gotta savor it.
That was it.
Also,
we weren't going nowhere.
Yeah, watch this battle. Watch this battle right now. Watch out. Wow.
LZ and Denofa?
Yeah, but watch what Denofa does after the finish line.
Was T being salty again?
Here it is again from
inside
clip number 1. Good switch back by Denofa. There's the tire drop.
Oof. Adam is getting it.
Dude, Adam looks fast as fuck right now.
He looks very fast.
Denofa has put together a much better chase run.
Denofa.
He followed him very aggressively through inside one and outside zone 2. Did not get lost in the smoke. Tucked up in the pocket on zone 3.
I don't know if that was Denofa's fault. That just looked like they were close at the end.
No, Adam. To be fair, to be fair, Adam should have looked in his rear view before he got out of drift.
Yeah.
He got out of drift
I'm sure
right after
I'm sure he can hear that Mustang right behind him.
Yeah. I don't know. That 2J's loud.
Adam is boogieing.
Adam is boogieing.
Adam is.
Adam LZ might be my new favorite Pro 1 driver.
I gotta admit, look, so I don't seem like a hypocrite. Anybody that knows me and talks to me on a regular basis, I have talked shit about Adam LZ. I am not a fan of even though I'm doing it for some odd reason, I'm not a fan. I don't know. We're not gonna get into that. But I wasn't a huge fan. I wasn't a huge fan. I thought he was biting off more than he can chew. I thought he was letting his pocketbook dictate,
Yeah.
his hobbies and shit. But I gotta admit, this kid can drive. This dude can get down.
I think
He
if
can
you
go.
if you
He
go
can
back
go.
and you watch call it comp timeout. If you go back and you
He's been
watch,
putting in a lot of seat time
yeah,
off camera. And
if you watch,
that's the part that it's
do you
impressing
remember
me because I was like, oh well, I see what he does. He's recording all the time. Like he ain't driving. No,
Nah,
he's
he's
putting in a lot
driving.
of seat
Putting
time
a
off
lot of
camera.
seat time.
Yeah.
He does a lot of small drift events in Florida and shit. If you go back and watch, and this is when he was still married and all that shit. This is 4 or 5 years ago. When Hoonigan used to do the daily transmissions at the Donut Garage, he rolled up with the cream S13 hatch, which is a very clean car. That car was incredibly.
Yeah, I remember that car.
All of his cars are super clean, to be fair. His S15 at the beginning of the season was incredibly clean. He has a really high level of build quality, which I also really like. I really appreciate that in people. Like, even if it's a drift car and you know it's going to get beat on, at the end of every season, like, you should do everything.
Start it off as clean as possible.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I appreciate the fuck out of that. Like, built it to get beat on and be able to get back to a clean point. Like, if you go into a build knowing that every single panel on the car is going to get fucked up, and you need to build it in a way that you can get it back to a clean vehicle for the start of the next season, it is executable. It's not going to be clean from round to round to round.
It's totally executable, but like, I'm laughing because like I'm agreeing with you, but I'm thinking about it because like I'm agreeing with you from the aspect of I want my convertible, I want the street Mustang to be just like immaculately clean. Like
it's a
you're
street
never
car.
gonna see me. You're never gonna see me slide that car or anything. Like it's gonna look like it should be a drift car, but you're never gonna see me do that in that car. Like that's just gonna be like drop top, playing some tunes, cruising slow, so you can see my three pieces. Like that's what we're about.
Yeah.
The drift car that's out front, for all intents and purposes, like I mean, you've seen it. It needs paint really bad, but like the body panels and everything look very lined up and very clean. Everything's zip tied on that car. Like everything, I took it off and I just threw the screws.
Zip tied it back together. Yeah, and that's okay. Like that's cool, dude. As long as you.
But I can tell how shitty it looks. And it's just like, dude, when I go to when our car's finished and I like go to events, I'm probably just gonna pull up on the trailer, and as soon as I pull up, I'm just gonna snap all the zips. Like I'm not running any bumpers.
Yeah, no,
nah, fuck this.
If it's like for me, like my next drift car, I'm basically relearning a skill set I didn't even have a ton of time with to begin with because I had to sell the 240 so quick into like learning how to drift, right? So,
oh god, that was sketchy.
That 240 when the brakes got on fire, yeah, that was sketchy.
No. So like just like trying to like teach you how to drift in a car that you had very little like
I didn't have a lot
time or anything in. And then it was like you know very little about like the mechanic, like you knew very little about the mechanics
at the time.
Drifting at the time, and I remember we went out one night, and I don't remember like I must have been fucked up because I just remember just telling you like you're not going fast enough, like you just got to chuck it in there, and you're like, nah, dude, we're in like that. I was like, just go faster. Just
I was doing 65 miles an hour for the record. I was doing 65 miles an hour on the street.
And I'm sitting in the passenger seat. And the 240
like,
that doesn't have harnesses. No. It's got that shit that when you close the door, it's got that nonsense.
But that doesn't work.
And my dumb ass is sitting in the passenger seat, and we're on a cul-de-sac.
Yeah. No, we weren't on a cul-de-sac.
And he's trying to drift.
We were in that that it was 2 lanes wide. It's in Laguna. Remember, because we went to go look at a phone.
Right, but it ends in the cul-de-sac.
It does end in a cul-de-sac, but I wasn't trying to drift.
Yeah, it S-turns. Well, I was trying to get you down to the cul-de-sac. It S-turns across a bridge, which is actually it's pretty dope little setup.
It is a dope
street
setup.
Little spot. So like you come through, you initiate, you transition across a bridge, and it ends in a cul-de-sac. So you can hit the cul-de-sac
come back around
and come back and do it again. So that's what I was trying to get Alex to do. And I just felt like he just wasn't throwing the car hard enough. And now that he says like he was doing like 55, 60 miles an hour, and I'm just sitting in the passenger seat, and every time like he would initiate and the car would straighten out, like I'm just sitting there just shaking my head like, you're not going fast enough. Like you need to go faster.
No, what
And
was
he's like,
happening
I'm
was
going. I was like, no, you need to go faster. You need to go faster.
No, what was happening was I wasn't
Thank you
properly.
for not listening to me and going
No,
faster.
I'm not dumb. I wasn't clutching properly on e-brake grip, and I wasn't getting back on throttle fast enough and aggressive enough, right? So my initiation speed was fine, but I was going in too light on getting back on power, which was
And your car had too much grip for you to be,
which is ridiculous with 165 horsepower or whatever. But yeah,
well, that's why I was telling you to go faster, because I was like, your car has way
too
much grip, and you're not like
what I should have. What I learned later in a different parking lot at a different time is that to get that bitch to consistently go sideways, it was clutch in, e-brake, mash the throttle, dump the clutch, and just fucking let it eat afterwards, and then it's fine, and it would carry, and you could like control it, and I could transition and all that shit. But yeah, if you can't, it's no power. You have to beat the shit out of it.
I know, but I was at the time. I'm thinking like now, like I was also telling you with the experience of somebody who was at the time.
You're drifting way more than I had at that time. Yeah, way.
I was also drifting a V6 Mustang, so it was like I've got a lot more weight than you, so I have to like going in faster is almost a prerequisite because my car was so heavy, and it's like I got enough torque to. Well, I did lighten it up a lot because remember when you drove it, you were like, "Damn, like this car is like fucking legit." You didn't expect it to be as good as it was.
No, that was I was. Oh, is Denofa gonna overtake this right now? Dude, Denofa's entry at this.
I really gotta let you drive my new car.
I want to drive it.
If you thought the V6 was good, dude, like
I'm sure.
When I tell people that the V8 scares me, I'm not joking. Like, granted, when I fuck around in this car, I know exactly where it's gonna go. Like, it does exactly what I tell it to do.
You have full Maximum Motorsport shit on that thing, don't you?
Right, but I'm manging through an alley, like doing donuts and manging through the alley behind my house, and I have no like worries that I'm gonna hit somebody's fence or anything like that. I know exactly where it's gonna go, and it's like, but it's so fast.
That's the thing is that like.
Oh, okay, Chelsea.
Yeah, nah, you'll see.
Where's Adam? He's in the smoke line.
You'll see.
Here he comes. Getting close.
It's so sad what happened. Yeah.
What?
He was right there. He had it, dude.
Oh, come on, bro.
He was right there.
You're like 10 feet.
Yeah, right there.
Like 10 feet.
He just robbed himself of a podium.
Because he was getting so close at the end too. Like they would have definitely have to given him this run.
Yeah, it would have been another OMT or it would have been his, one or the other. He was his round to lose.
Came out of smoke and it was like, oh, there he is, bam, and then just goes.
I'm really bummed out. That really bums me out. I really wanted Adam to podium.
Unfortunately for LZ, takes himself out. See, like
I don't know if you locked up again or not. Your video stopped. No, you didn't. Okay.
Yeah.
It was Adams to lose. That's really disappointing. That's super disappointing. I wanted him to win.
That he hit Chelsea.
He just went too deep. He just went a little too deep.
Third.
I would have liked him to take a third place podium. I mean, getting fourth. Again, he's got. At this point, he has a top 8 finish under his belt. He'll have a top 4 finish under his belt in his rookie season. It's a strong first season.
And you've got 2 more events left.
You do have 2 more events left, and he's only gone against the best of the best in the sport so far. He's gone against Forsberg twice, Denofa twice. You know what I mean? Like he's dealing with the heavy hitters.
Right. You've gone against Ryan Turek, Forsberg, Denofa. Yeah, it's not like you're going against, like, no disrespect, but you're not going against, like,
Jeff
Taylor
Jones.
Hall.
And
Jeff Jones.
The guys who were, like, on paper more on your skill level, right? You're not going against those dudes. You're going against the heavy hitters.
Then you beat Michael Essa.
He's a champion.
You flat out beat Michael Essa.
Yeah. So, I mean... That's why this is the reason why I say, like, I don't want him to go back to Pro 2, because he's on a good trajectory. This is a very strong first season. This is an incredibly strong first season for any Pro 1 driver coming out of Pro 2. This is a crazy strong first season. My Taylor Hull, he's in his second season and hasn't even gotten this far.
Yeah.
Right? So for someone like Adam, I mean, and the point I was trying to make before.
So does that speak to the talent pool that's in Pro 2? Is that are they just not talented enough in Pro 2? That it's like if you jump out of Pro 2, you're not like.
Pro 2 is more financially accessible, so you're not like you can't run a Pro 1 program on talent alone, right? Somebody has to have known that you were good and be willing to back you because you're good. Adam LZ is in a very unique position in that he has independent.
He can back himself.
He can back himself, right? Because he's a privateer. He's essentially a privateer, right? He has a tire sponsor.
He's a Michael Essa. He's an OD.
He's at the same funding level as like a Ryan Literal, realistically, right? Like he has, right? He has Njuku and he has Achilles, and Literal has Power Stop and. Is he Achilles too? I don't know if Literal's Achilles as well or not, but
or Nexon, one of those.
Yeah, he's got a very small title sponsor, and then he's got a tire sponsor, right? Because like you really can't compete in Pro 1 without a tire. You need a tire sponsor, absolutely.
Right. If you're trying to compete in Pro 1 and
you can't afford that tire budget, you can't afford that tire.
You're.
A tire.
You've got no room for spares.
No, a set of tires every run is not. You can't afford that.
How many practice runs am I doing?
Exactly, right.
Plus, I can't waste any practice run.
Plus 6 sets of wheels, right?
Wow, Chelsea won.
Oh, for sure, dude. I mean, Adam Millsy hit him and went off track. There was no way he wasn't.
Oh, damn! Just that quick, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Tequila and Budweiser's are catching up.
It do be that way sometimes.
Yeah.
But no, I think that.
But that's very impressive to get 4th place. You're
purely by your own merit.
Your 6th event. Yeah, purely by your own merit. Your rookie year.
6 events in, you get a top 4 finish. That's super strong. It's very strong. So we have Gittin and Forsberg for the final. Jesus Christ! As if there was any.
Yeah, what happened? What happened to Drift Alliance?
Well, I mean, they just podium. Well, no, it was Drift Alliance, and they were all similar sponsors, and then you know what I mean. And then Angelo left the sport.
They split up. Yeah, well, Angelo left the sport.
Yeah, but they don't rock it anymore.
They were still Drift. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They were still Drift Alliance when Angelo left the sport, and Chris was on one sponsor.
I think they have too many big sponsors.
It seemed like as soon as Vaughn left Falcon, like Drift Alliance just completely went away. Like you saw no more DA stickers or nothing like that.
I think they just
when he left Falcon, that was a wrap.
Yeah, I think they grew past it. I think that they have too many big title sponsors that don't want to see some random bullshit that's associated with another car on a different set of title sponsors, different tire sponsors, right? You have Monster doesn't want to see a similar sticker as another car that's on Rockstar or NOS. You don't want to see a tire sponsor doesn't want to see a similar sticker that's on another Rockstar NOS tire car, right? Like you got all these dudes that are funding these. I mean, listen, Turk. So you have the remaining DA members are what? Turk, Gittin, and Forsberg, right? That's it.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
anybody else.
All right, those are 3 of the most sponsored dudes in the sport. They all have factory backing by manufacturers, by tire sponsors, by energy drinks.
But how did they get there?
Through Drift
The DA is how they all got. Yeah, that's how they all got there.
Right, but
so that's what I'm saying. It's just interesting that like they no longer because it wasn't like Drift Alliance was paying them or anything like that.
No, it's just them. It's just their name for their fucking.
Yeah, it's not a competing sponsorship with like NOS or like Falcon or Nitto or anything like that. So it's just really funny that it's like, all right, you guys are all on different teams now. You guys are all supposedly still friends and shit like that, but you guys don't like.
I think that lends
because it was just more of like a Tony Angelo thing. Like I know that Tony Angelo was like credited with being the main like
false start.
Yeah, for Drift Alliance. So it's like okay, it's because Tony Angelo is no longer involved with like this sport.
No, I honestly just think that as the like we talked about in the last episode, like a lot of the, trying to legitimize the sport. trying to legitimize the sport. You know, you have sponsors where, as these cars have gotten more expensive over the years, the programs to run them for a season have gotten more expensive. They're using them for more marketing materials. You know, like
Right.
look at how much shit Vaughn and Chelsea have done for Ford Performance this year, both with just doing other promotional shit. That whole promo video they did with the Mustang Mach-E 1400 or whatever, that electric car crazy fucking thing that they did together, right? All that shit.
Yeah, with all the other like Mustang iterations and all that.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
they're just like, listen, we don't want anything that ties you to a competing sponsor out in the open. Forsberg's gonna win this event right now. Chris Forsberg is about to win this round right now because he's.
It sounds like you're responding to Jared DeAndre because you said Forsberg's going to win this event right now, and then Jared DeAndre goes, "What's that?" And he goes, "Forsberg's going to win this event right now."
Yeah.
Absolutely turned it up or turned up something because he was blazing.
So you know how you always say you don't feel like Forsberg cars feels fast? Watch this run.
Or what happened?
He is missing the whole rear quarter panel of his car.
Yeah, well, it caught on fire, so
that's great. Yeah, I know. That's great, though.
Huge initiative outside zone 1. Vaughn goes a little bit deep there, hits inside clip. Now
I've always liked his helmet.
His Stilo helmet's tight.
Yeah, I looked it up, like, because my helmet is Race Quip.
Yeah.
That's who I bought my helmet from. And Race Quip makes one. But it's like double or triple the price of what I paid for my helmet. So I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna get your base model, like $100. Cool,
yeah, perfect.
I don't need a $400 Darth Vader helmet.
Now Chris Forsberg.
I'm not even that good of a driver.
Chris Forsberg's helmet, the base for his helmet is like $4,600 before he gets it painted.
Yeah.
Have you did that run finish for you yet?
Yeah.
Okay, so Chris Forsberg just won round 6. Literally drove off with it. And like I said, if you ever thought that his car was slow, the way that he pulled away.
Well, no. It's funny because they had the same power. They showed it in the beginning, like their stats. They're both at 1,200 horsepower.
Yeah. But the fact that Forsberg can pull away to that fucking degree. Jesus, that's a 5 car length gap, dude.
Yeah, he gapped him real fast.
That's it. He never got within 2 car lengths that whole run.
Nah, not until the very end. It's like by the end, it doesn't even matter.
Look, Vaughn doesn't even want to pull next to him. He's so fucking butthurt. Oh no, Vaughn's got a big ass Drift Alliance sticker on the back of his car. Look at that.
What do you think?
All that shit.
That was another thing I was gonna say is that Vaughn seems to be the only one who still reps Drift Alliance.
Yeah, I don't like.
And as far as I know, Vaughn was the one. So Drift Alliance was more Tony Angelo's idea. Chris Forsberg was like the driver, one of the main drivers who got like Drift Alliance popular. But as far as I know, Vaughn was like the businessman behind Drift Alliance. Like he got them all of their shit.
Jay,
what?
Watch this decision. Watch this decision. It explains to me how it makes sense.
Okay, well they're showing the side by side, and unfortunately, though I want Vaughn and the Mustang boys to win, I think Chris got this.
Yeah, you're right. In the chase position, Chris cheated on outside zone number 1, which is one thing we pointed out in the briefing not to do. He completely missed outside zone 1, but it managed to give him better proximity through the run in the chase position.
More than anything, watching this shit makes me want to go outside and like put my car in jack stand and start working on it.
Yeah, dude. Oh my god, I'm listening to them explain this decision, and it's such fucking bullshit.
I haven't gotten a decision yet. Okay, here we go. What?
When you hear the reasoning,
I don't need to hear the reasoning. I watched it. This is stupid.
The reasoning is that.
Hold on. Hold on. Quiet. They're telling me the reasoning.
Will it be Vaughn getting Jr. again, or is Chris Forsberg going to take it to the top? Again, Forsberg hasn't had a win since 2018 in Orlando.
No, Colton, it's not going to be okay.
Again, Ryan Turk. getting overtaken, unfortunately, by
Because the exact reason why they just stated why they gave them one more time was Forsberg shallowed out to take proximity in a run, and that's exactly what everybody was doing in round one, and nobody cared. It was supposedly
What
quote
the
unquote the smart. Even
fuck?
Taguchi in round four did the same shit on the main bank, and they gave him props for it.
See what I
Another.
mean? See what I mean? See what I mean? I told you they do this dumb shit. I told you. I
It's
told
so
you. I told
frustrating.
you. This is so dumb. But it's funny because the beginning of their explanation almost seemed like they were trying to give it to Vaughn. They were like, if Vaughn hadn't done this, he would have edged it out. And it was like, well, that's not how you judge a run.
You can't,
Whose run was
dude. They were
better?
literally giving Taguchi props in round four in Seattle for being smart enough to straighten off on the intro bank to gain proximity, and you're now going to take the run away from Forsberg for doing the same shit at a different track.
Yeah, because the rules changed per track too.
Like,
so what was good for that one isn't good for
fucking
this one.
can't, dude. I fucking can't. It's so frustrating as somebody
So
who
for those of you who are watching this show or listening to this show today or in the future, this is literally the reason we started this show, is because we would watch Formula D events and could not figure out why that they would, like, certain runs. It's like, why did you judge that? Like, why did you give that driver the win when it was clearly either a one more time or he was at fault for whatever happened, and now you just want to give him the chance to run it back and like redeem himself. But it was like a certain driver. We don't really want to go into that, but that's why the show came up, is because me and Alex would sit around and watch these events and just not understand what was going on, and we would commentate to ourselves, and as far as we were concerned, we were fucking funny. And so here you go. But since it's a one more time, I gotta crack a brew. Adam LZ. Good shit, dude. You fucking won me over. Like I said in the beginning, I wasn't on board. Was not on board with the YouTube drifters. Jumping straight into pros and things like that. I've seen over the years, a lot of guys buy their way into the pro level, and just you water down the sport when you do that. When you when you have enough money to just buy your way. Nick Hogan, the Prince of Malaysia. I want to say he's like the Malaysian prince or something like that. But when you have enough money to just buy your way into a motorsport, or any sport for that matter, you diminish and you water down the quality of that sport, because you might not be as good, you might not be as talented, you might not be as skilled. Whereas Adam LZ, as far as I can see, has definitely put in the time, definitely put in the work, and that kid can drive. He gets down. He gets down. So much respect to Adam LZ. All right, but like, full time.
Oh, all right. So Colt, I will respond to your comments in a second. Let's do this. Ready? We good?
What comment?
He commented on the YouTube live stream. It gets worse as the day goes on.
It does.
The outcome of this will definitely shake things up in the point standings. The lights are on and now they're off. Send it.
All right, here we go.
Initiating that first outer zone. Through that power alley, correction there for Von Gittin Jr. And Chris Forsberg comes out of the smoke right there on the door of Von Gittin Jr.
This is a really good battle.
Vaughn and Forsberg.
You'll see it in a second. Colt, who did you get to meet in FD Atlanta?
Huh?
I'm talking to my homie who's commenting on the live stream right
now.
On both sides, and it gave us a better battle. You see why a good lead can lead to an amazing chase.
Vaughn is backing off. There we go.
Oh, LZ? Yeah, no, LZ's dope, Colt, for sure. FD is still in its infancy by comparison. The issue that guys like Jamal and myself run into where we come to the way the sport is run is a lot of the rules in FD kind of they go against the grain as far as what drifting means to what
drifting purists
to the drifting purists, to the guys who grew up, either driving or riding right seat at drift events or whatever. Like, they're trying to, like, D1 GP took a really different way of doing things in the sense of they did the drift box, but it doesn't matter where you're on the track, right? Like they don't harp on clipping points and shit the way that FD does.
Right.
FD's trying to kind of quantify some of the heart out of the sport, which ruins it to some degree. And they make rules and I understand what you're saying about F1 in this sense, because F1 does a lot of the same shit as far as like deciding when they're going to enforce rules and shit like that. But I think the major difference is that when F1 does shit like that, it's they make those kind of weird decisions to the legality of the car at all, and the way the car is being driven or the functionality of the vehicle that wasn't disclosed to F1, right? Or just, like the whole thing with Lewis Hamilton having the ability to adjust toe on the fly to keep his front tires hot, all that kinds of shit, right? Which going into this season, which other drivers obviously don't have because nobody fucking thought to do shit like that. Versus in FD, it literally changes how they're judging from run to run, which will change the outcome of the event. So, like, false start.
So it almost allows them to narrate the event.
It almost allows them to change the narrative of the entire season on the fly. Right?
Yeah.
So it's just very disingenuous. It's not consistent.
When you can come in at the beginning of the season or halfway through the season and watch, and
you'll be judged on completely different criteria.
I feel like, like you can watch as a spectator and say like, oh, I see, or it feels like you're pulling for certain drivers. You're trying to get this guy a win. You're trying to give him one more time to redeem himself from last runs. Like you said, it does seem disingenuous, and it makes the sport less viable. And it makes it less like people don't want to watch it. Like the thing about wrestling, like wrestling's fake. Everybody knows wrestling's fake, but you don't know who's gonna win. So that's why people watch wrestling. I know it's fake. I know like you're not really smacking that dude upside the head with a chair, but I don't know who's gonna win this match, so I want to watch it. But when I feel like, all right, well, Chris Forsberg, no matter what, is going to be allowed to beat most people, it kind of diminishes like why you even watch the sport.
Yeah.
That's why me personally, I watch a lot more. I've gotten into watching a lot more grassroots events unless I can personally be there. Like if I can personally go to FD, I'm all in. If I gotta watch it,
it's tough.
I'm probably gonna watch grassroots. Yeah.
No,
I'll look up the results and see who won. If somebody I like wins, I'll watch the event because I want to see their runs. But
has this run caught up to you yet?
Chris Forsberg's in the lead right now. He was all over Vaughn's ass, but Vaughn's all over his ass, and Vaughn just hit him and went off track. So Chris Forsberg wins round 6.
Yeah. So Striker, who's my boy Colt, because obviously you're not looking at the chat. So Colt, the only reason why Jay can't see the chat is because it's streaming off my PC. This is the inherent disability of streaming things when you're not sitting in the same room and everybody can't look at the same thing, which is how we do the pod. We do everything else. We always do everything remotely. So he says, I guess I'm talking more about the conduct/performance penalties. There have been several questionable instances of penalty judgments / non-judgments in F1 over the past couple of years, but FD is way more subjective. And then he goes on to say, I was just going to say the grassroots drift stuff I've watched is fire. Again, F1 is, to your point, is a situation where that series has been around forever. And they know what they're doing, and even when they're on some fuck shit, like it's relatively nobody can really have too much of an argument with it to a point. Because if they make a call in a season, generally that call is consistent throughout that season, and obviously the F1 rulebook changes every season. But FD specifically, because of the fact that Formula Drift is trying to take a sport like drifting, which is a judged competition as opposed to an objective win, whoever comes across the line first wins, barring any penalties, it's already inherently more difficult to try and streamline and standardize this kind of a sport. The issue that we run into, especially guys like Jamal and myself, or anybody who grassroots drifts, or anybody who's spent any time with the sport, is that the stuff that like we consider to be what we think is cool when you watch somebody drift, how deep the angle is, how much smoke they're throwing down, how ridiculous of a line that is.
Right.
That stuff is all frowned upon.
Bad.
In this top level of drifting, right? Which is like,
it's almost blasphemous.
It is almost to the heart of what drifting is, right? Which is like, I want to go in this corner fucking backwards and pull it out, and just have enough power to where I can mash the shit out of it and pull myself out of it. And all that's like the fact that backies are frowned upon
is ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Utterly ridiculous.
Because you go back and look at like D1 D1 videos and Kawabata pulling that first like real aggressive backwards entry, and the judges are losing their shit, right? Like that's
and
yeah, exactly. Like, or was it Kuma Kubo? No, it was Daigo. It was Sato with the jump drift at Tsukuba, right? He come in the JZX 100.
Yeah, Daigo Sato, king of the jump drift. Yeah,
full on foot out the air, bam, slams it, holds the line, smashes the shit out of it, full fucking clap, like
slams it right onto the line he's gonna go. Like Katsuhiro Ueno back in the day in the 8.6 Corolla, like catching a little bit of the bank berm right there, almost rolling his car, but just like dropping it back on the ground, and the guy chasing him doing the same thing and rolling his car.
Yeah.
Like that's the shit. It's like
you used to get judged on how exciting.
That's what drifting's about.
Yeah,
like that's cool.
You used to get judged on how exciting your run is, and now it's how clinical is your run, right? And I think FD, in trying to make it a sport in the same way that F1 is a sport, or like GTP is a sport, or Grand Prix or whatever, they're losing all of the super fucking cool shit about drifting, which is supposed to be you're driving a car in. Drifting is literally keeping control of something that's out of control, right? That's the entire point. So inherently, it's stupid because you're doing something that the car is not designed to do, right? To some degree.
Shut your dirty whore mouth.
No, but real talk.
You sound like, you know who you sound like? You sound like all of my drag racer friends. All the dudes that I grew up like street racing. No, but like that's what I came from. No, it's not boring. It's not boring.
Drag racing is boring.
But that's what I came from.
Drag racing cars. That's what I came from. Like drag cars are boring.
That's what I came from, street racing and drag racing. And all my drag racer friends, when I got into drifting, were like, everything you're talking about is against the rules of racing. And I go, well, yeah, it's not really a race. And they go, then what's the fuck? They go, but they're all like, well, what's the point? And I go, well, that's like, it's to show your own style.
But it
just paint the car however you want. It's no, it's bigger than that.
But
bro.
Again, it goes back to what we were talking about last episode of drifting is crutched as a subjective sport in the sense that in a BMX competition, in a snowboard competition, in an extreme ski competition, in a freestyle moto competition, you can be judged to a quantifiable numerical value without being told exactly what to do. Whereas in drifting, there is an ideal run, a perfect run in Formula Drift. Not in drifting, but in Formula Drift, right? When they set up a track, this is the perfect run, and it's all how close you get to that run. And I think that that's the biggest issue is it shouldn't be that way. It should be here's the track, here are your decel zones, here are your XL zones. How much angle can you throw? How fucking exciting can you be? How difficult can you make it for the person behind you to follow you? Like the person behind, if you can throw a backy, the dude behind you at that level should be able to back you right next to you. You know?
Right. And if he can't, then you should get the advantage.
Exactly. That's the way it should be. And because they're trying to put it into this like formulaic kind of nonsense, you end up in this situation where it's less entertaining to watch, and the dudes who compete at the highest level are the most boring dudes to watch.
Right. So me and you have had this conversation. I mean, ad nauseum.
More
times than we can count. Okay, and I think we came to I wouldn't necessarily say an agreement. We came to a solution for judging, and to this day, I want to say we came to the solution about 5, 6, 7 years ago.
Yes, to this
day, I've never been able to think of or get a better idea than what we came up with from anybody else.
I remember
which
this.
was
I sent this shit to Formula Dirt.
You did. So we should use the drift shifters. Pretty much use the drift shifters, the point system, and you should have a judge if the points are really close, if they're within like 1,000 points or something. Because the drift shifters, you gather points very quickly.
Yeah.
So 1,000 points is still a very close run. If you guys are like 1,000 points within each other, it's still a very close run. So once you get to that, where in essence, like you could consider it at one more time based on points.
Yeah.
Then you go to the judge and be like, you're a judge. You just simply go like, hey, whose run excited you more? Like,
yeah,
that's what it should boil down to. It's like,
so,
whose run, like,
yeah. So if anybody,
which one did you get your rocks off to? Like, all right, cool. I like that guy. Like, so that's your next runner.
So drift shifters, to anybody who listens to this after the fact or is with us right now, drift shifters is it's a drift competition to a degree, but it's more of a gymkhana / style competition. But
yeah, so there's no tandems.
They set up a bunch of obstacles and you go in there in a drift car, but you have sensors.
Hold on. You keep talking, I gotta find my shit.
Yeah. You have sensors basically laced up through the car, and all of the obstacles also have sensors built into them, and you have a sensor that's monitoring your G-forces, they're monitoring your acceleration, your steering angle, all that shit. And you get quantifiable point scores off of these runs. So you'll have million-point runs, you'll have 500,000 point runs, but it's all quantifiable. Everybody's judged on the same criteria. And the system that Jamal and I had come up with years and years and years ago was something similar to where you lace these cars up with proximity sensors all over them. All of the clipping points have proximity sensors built into them. The cars can read their proximity next to each other, and if you're in a chase driver, you're only scoring in proximity. So if you're not close to the car that's in front of you, you're not gaining points. And all you really, I think the way we had it set up was that all you had to do was match the point score of the lead driver and the chase driver won or some shit like that, right? Because that means that you were staying close enough to them to be able to be matching their line.
Yeah.
And it just makes it a way more quantifiable thing. And you can be exciting in this setup because you get like a points multiplier for every degree of angle past 60 degrees or whatever, right? Like you're getting
where guys like Forrest Wang would be
dominating.
Would be dominating. Yeah. Mike Wadet, Forrest Wang, guys who throw big angle, get really close to walls and clipping points. It's like, okay, I may not have the fastest consistent speed throughout this track, but once I like throw this angle on this transition and get the back, like get my bumper where I'm about to slap this cameraman because he's hanging too far over the wall.
Yeah.
Like I'm about to rack up a bunch of points right here.
Yeah.
And it's, as a chase driver, can you match me? Like, can you rack up some points too? Because if not, then it's like, yeah, you're not like, you shouldn't get the win just because you're close.
And I think that like, Japanese drifting, the idea of who wins, who loses, comes from toge, right? When toge is not drifting, toge is not inherently quote unquote drifting. drifting is a
No, not
component
at
of
all.
toge.
But drifting came from toge.
Right, but
by
you
guys
can,
who didn't want to slow down with underpowered cars. It's like,
right.
okay, if I'm in this
I'll just huck
8.6
it
and
and
I
get
got
up.
this dude in this RX-7 chasing me, slowing
can't
down
let
on
up.
this corner isn't really That's not really smart
So you
move
got the
for me. So I
Miatas
should
and you
just
got the
keep it
lighter,
going.
you have the smaller, lighter, underpowered cars pushing through corners sideways, where you have the high horsepower cars with a ton of grip sticking to like your normal street line, whatever. But so drift kind of evolved out of that, and watching rally racers when they lose the line, being able to recover, and they were just like, hey, that looks cool. And that's the thing, is that drifting as a sport started because it looked cool, and that doesn't
Exactly.
matter anymore. That's not like
Which is really sad.
It is really
because
sad.
drifting was started by a bunch of guys who were not drifters. They
Yeah.
were road racers and toge drivers and rally racers, and they all had like this common thing that's like, okay, like I
That
don't
shit
slow
looks
down in
cool.
corners.
Yeah, and it looks cool, and we want to let's do that on purpose because it looks sick. Like, it just looks sick, right?
Right. So
And-
then it turned into a sport because it looked dope. So it was like, yo, like if you can keep this going the whole course, okay, if you can chase this guy the whole course, if you can get closer to that wall, closer to this front wall, like if you can do this and that, you can pull more angle. But yeah, like you've been saying, like now
more
they're trying to
exciting to
quantify
watch.
it as a sport. Now they're dumbing some of this shit down, where it's like
I still think that
it's like playing basketball in a church league. It's like you can't dunk. It's like, well, what's the point? Like,
I think that the sport was at its best when speed, smoke, and angle were the top criteria, because it's like,
yeah.
I mean, yes, is it harder to judge? Do you have more situations of crashes that you can't, and like those are all super hard things to quantify. So I just went through that whole spiel about how we talked about we thought drifting should be judged, and the first thing that Colt said was, why haven't they done that? They haven't done that because it leans into it. It's trying to quantify a subjective system as opposed to determining an objective system that you can quantify. What I mean by that is angle inherently is not, it's not always super visible to the naked eye, right? Like, you can have somebody throwing an angle, and depending on what position you're looking at it and all that shit, it may not look like that person should have won. So when you see the data after the fact, it can be kind of like counterintuitive. And
right.
I think that the main reason is that Formula D has kind of doubled down on this way that they're
So real quick, hold on.
Yeah.
Don't lose that thought. I'm just gonna, for the people who are watching, may listen to this later. Round 6 is officially over. Chris Forsberg came in first. Von Gittin Jr. came in second. Chelsea DeNofa came in third.
And Von Gittin is now your new points leader, is he not?
And Von Gittin is now your new points leader.
So he's on
Ryan
track.
Turek went out early. Yes, I think Von's the new points leader. So yeah, I may have to go to Irwindale because this might be one of those good years to where it comes down to the last
event.
Those are the Irwindales. I live in LA, so I always go to Long Beach. I always go to Irwindale. Well, I always go to Long Beach. I most of the time go to Irwindale. I go to Irwindale for sure if the points chase is really close. If it's coming
always
down
the
to
best.
the last event, that's when I go. If it's like, as long as this dude makes it to the top.
Oh, we may have just lost Jamal, and he doesn't know it yet. Lost him. We'll get him back. Hold, please, for technical difficulties. Trying to get Jamal back in here. Sorry to everybody who's listening to this on an audio pod later. Just technical difficulties, consistent connectivity difficulties due to long ass stream and Jamal being super far away. So we'll get him back in here in a second. Or not.
distance.
Oh,
It's
here he
made
comes.
it clear that the best memories don't happen
Be back.
All right. Yeah, I have to go to the bathroom real quick.
Vacations
What also kicked you, which is fine.
Book the home that makes the vacation.
Oh, shit.
With Verbo.
So let's mute this live stream because nobody needs to hear this shit anymore.
All right.
So yeah, no.
Now I feel like jumping on Forza.
Yo, same. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Still working? I just did a thing that I didn't mean to do. One second.
What happened now? Yeah, about to play some Forza.
Okay, we're back. I don't know what just happened there. That was weird. This fool says if you all jump on Forza, let a brother know.
Huh?
No, my boy Colt. No, the point being that just that drifting as a whole has gone a direction that we don't necessarily agree with. We don't necessarily agree with the way that it's gone. We don't necessarily agree with.
This is true.
Yeah, we just
I think earlier when you left, I had made that point that that fact in general was a big reason for this podcast, because this is literally what we used to do. We would sit at your house or my house and watch Formula D, and just like, what the fuck? Like, how did they come up with that? Like, what? Like, we just didn't agree with a lot of what was going on. So
yeah, and I think that still rings true in the series as a whole. I mean, it's the premier series. This is the top echelon. This is that. It's just that doesn't mean that it's beyond reproach. That doesn't mean that it's perfect. That doesn't mean that it shouldn't be critiqued. I think that the biggest issue with Formula D right now is that they don't listen to the fans in terms of people who understand the sport and understand the style of driving and what we want to see. Right? They've already kind of, I do think that the FIA having a professional drifting series is probably the worst thing that ever happened to FD. Because now that you have somebody as serious as the FIA, somebody as it's a preeminent, like, legitimizer of motorsport is the FIA, right?
Yeah.
So now whatever the FIA thinks, which is like, what the fuck does the FIA know about drifting?
What the fuck do they know about drifting?
Which
and
now
I think that needs to change in sports in general too.
Yeah, but I mean, now that they're involved, I think it's just a matter of it's just gonna make it worse. Unless FD is willing to, like, draw a line in the sand and say, hey, we're going to do this. But I don't think that's going to happen either, because, it is still a fledgling motorsport. And they are, they're only 15 years in, and they're trying to, or, well, I guess going on 20 technically. But
yeah, they're going on 20.
They're trying to legitimize
something. I think it's true, but, like, in the same vein that, like, the other sports have done it, when you said, like, with the FIA, like, a lot of things change. I made the comment a little while ago, like, I hope not. It's because, like, the same situation happened with another sport that I dearly love, which is mixed martial arts.
No, okay, no, I'm just kidding.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, that was good. So with mixed martial arts, a lot of the people who were judging mixed martial arts and making the rules for mixed martial arts are boxing judges. And you don't, as a boxing judge, like a lot of people think, like, oh, boxing, mixed martial arts, you guys do a lot of the same things. Like, well, no, a lot of mixed martial artists throw hands a lot, but that doesn't mean that a boxer
you can't
knows what he's looking at. Yeah, because a lot of boxing refs, when a lot of fights hit the ground, and it's like, oh, well, the three refs that you got ref in this thing, or two of the three refs that you got ref in this thing, are boxing refs, and the other guy you got is a wrestling guy, and it hits the ground. Well, the guy on the bottom is a jiu-jitsu dude, and he's throwing up all kind of submissions and everything like that. Like, he's really winning this fight, but because you guys don't know what you're looking at, you guys say because he's on bottom, he's losing.
Right.
And a lot of the same thing happens with, like, I think with Formula D, where you have, like, a sanctioning body who does not know anything about drifting. Probably was of the same mindset as, like, my friends who drag race. It's like everything about drifting is against racing, so it's all wrong. So it's like when you put people who think like that in charge of it, or like give them some sort of play in how it's like carried out,
you're gonna have issues. You're gonna have
you're gonna diminish the product, and it's like
no, I agree. I agree.
And it's like where does Formula D come into play and be like, okay, look, we need to say this so we can save our product, because if you let these people who don't know what the fuck they're doing just continuously come in and tell you how to make your product, then eventually, yeah, like it's not gonna go well for you.
It's not gonna be what you hoped it was supposed to be. That's really the long and short of it. And you'll probably hear the same sentiment from us at the next event. But to everybody who hung with us while we did this, thank you. To everybody who listens to this,
thank you. Big thank you.
Big thank you. To everybody who listens to this 3.5 hour podcast episode later, if anybody listens to it at all, thank you so much.
Big thank you again. Yeah,
this is something that we'll probably continue.
Look, man, if you ain't got nothing to do, just listen to this in your car. Okay?
Just listen to the car.
You don't want to listen to your girl, just throw your headphones on, act like you listening to something else.
No, I think this is something we'll continue to do, if nothing else, just because it's fun for us, and hopefully, we get all of our homies that are into drifting, they listen to the podcast or not, whatever, to kind of hang out, and we can do some cool shit hanging out together. This has been Clutch Kick, the RevMatch FD Drift Companion, and I think it went well. I had a good time. So thank you guys for listening again. You can find me on Instagram at night.sti. You can find Jamal at Mustang_Mall. And please like and subscribe to the channel.
Please.
My boy Colt says top commentary, boys. Appreciate it, homie. And
thanks, Colt.
Thank you, sir, for hanging with us. Thank you all, and enjoy the rest of your